different thing. Like you said, you're playing the Laredo and a Grand Prairie a lot more than you had in the past maybe. But other than that, same old business. We go about our business the same way, you know, how we do things, and try to make the most of every day and make the most of our opportunities. Like I mentioned, it's a totally different team that we have this year, which has made it a lot of fun because I've gotten to manage.
You're on your way to having another very good season here. Your 6th consecutive winning season in 6 years, you know, as the manager of the Wingnuts. Just kind of tell us about the winning culture, things you instill. I know a veteran team don't necessarily see this across independent baseball, but you guys run out every ground ball. Just kind of give us an idea of, you know, how you instill that in the first place and how that's made you guys successful over the last 6 years.
I think everybody knows. I think word's out of my expectations. I expect a lot out of my guys. My expectations, I tell them, are off the chart, not only on the field but off the field. And we're going to play the game a certain way, and the way I played it and the way I think it should be played. And word's gotten out that that's how we do things. I think a lot of guys like playing for us in Wichita because we do hold guys accountable. We are going to run balls out. We're going to play the game the right way, and it's been a lot of fun. I think that's why we've been so successful, because we get guys to buy into that system, fighting every night to win a ball game any way we can.
So this is your 6th year with the team. You played for the team in 2008, won the batting title. Do you remember much from that season? You can believe that it's 6 years already since that first year.
That's crazy, Shoes. I know that's 6 years ago. It's nuts that it's been that long, because it does kind of seem like yesterday. My body appreciates it. I know that, you know, just running over there to third every night. But I miss it. I'm always going to miss it. I tell everybody, you know me, I'm a competitive guy. I've got a lot of fire in me. I love the game. I respect the game and have a true passion for it. I enjoy being out here every single night. I'm more drained after managing a night than I was when I played. So it's been a lot of fun. I'm obviously going to miss playing for a long time, but that was definitely a special year, my last year playing, that I'll never forget.
Tell us about Wichita State. At 4 great years there. Helped the Shockers get to the last time they were in the College World Series there in 1996, and a 4 great season that you had for them.
I tell everybody all the time, even though I made it to the major leagues, which was a dream of mine, the best 4 years of my college career, or my career, were in college at Wichita State. You grow up so much, and I was given the opportunity by Gene Stevenson 5 games into my freshman year, and I took it and ran with it, and the rest is kind of history. Like I said, I wasn't even supposed to play college ball, let alone play in the big leagues, and to play at a powerhouse like Wichita State and to contribute the way I did, a lot of fun. But I get a lot of credit to that coaching staff and my teammates, just because my 4 years there, I learned so much and grew up so much, and it prepared me for that next level of professional baseball.
You've been very fortunate. I mean, starting with the 4 years in Wichita State, but that's your professional playing career and, you know, the managing career. You've been on a team that's at a winning record pretty much every single season.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's in my blood, Shoes. You know, you know, I have a passion for it. Every night I take that field, whether I'm playing or managing, my expectations are to win, bottom line. And I wouldn't be doing this if it was any other way. And I try to instill that in my guys. And if we can continue that attitude, I hope that we're going to be successful for a long time coming.
Any players you can think of over the last 6 years that stand out? And I'm not going to ask you who your favorite one is, but just 1 or 2 guys that maybe stand out and you say, you know, this is my type of guy, and I take 9 of him, you know, any day of the week.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Mike Conroy, a veteran that we used to have, who literally would run through a wall for you. You know, he played the game the right way. A special one for me, you know, is Brent Cleveland, because he's a teammate of mine, not only in AAA but in the big leagues. So that's a special case for me. Espinoza, who I have now playing for me, was a teammate of mine. All 3 of us played together in AAA. So there's a lot of guys. Too many to name, I think. I tell guys when they come in, you know, it takes someone special to put this uniform on and to be able to wear this uniform, and not everybody can do it. Like I say, doesn't make you a bad person, just not everybody can play for me and hold up to my standards of, like you said, running balls out, playing the game the right way, and having respect not only for the game but for your teammates as well.
And a great opportunity for you to manage this game, but also for 2 guys that have been with you a long time, Luke Robertson, your pitching coach, and Jose Amano, your hitting coach.
Yeah, and I know I get all the credit. I tell them too that all the time. I get all the credit, win or lose. It's on me, and I'm fine with that. You know, when we win, I don't want the credit. I push, it's our players, it's my staff. I can't do this without those guys. I tell guys, you can't be a good manager without good players. And like I said, they bought into the system. And to go along with that, my staff, you know as well as I do, I'm very comfortable with them. We've been together for 5 years now. This is our 5th year with Jose, but 6 with Luke, and we're just comfortable with each other. They know my expectations, what kind of guy I want when we're all recruiting. I don't even have to ask anymore. They know what questions I need answered and what kind of guys they are, what kind of teammates they are. And I'm very blessed to have those 2 guys on my staff. And like I said, we're not successful with not only myself, but with the 2 of those guys helping along the way.
All right, Hoop, we really appreciate the time. Anybody back home, Kansas, anywhere else you'd like to say hello to?
Just my family. You know, I miss my girls already being on this long trip, and I wish they could be here with me. But love you all. Just hello to all my family and friends back home and all the fans in Wichita. We got a great fan support there in Wichita, and keep coming out to watch the Nuts.
All right, appreciate the time. All the best to you rest of the season.
Thanks as always, Shoes.
That was Wichita Wingnuts manager Kevin Hooper joining us here on the Rona pregame show Ride to the Ballpark. We'll pause and step aside for the national anthems here on Jewel 101.
At MTS, we know there are lots of things that can keep you awake at night. But worrying about internet overage charges shouldn't be one of them. With MTS, you get unlimited internet on all our personal plans. So you never have to think about how much data you're using and how much it's going to cost you. Surf, download, and stream all you want for as low as $20 a month for the first 3 months and rest easy. Conditions apply. Visit your nearest MTS Connect store for details.
This is Goldeyes Baseball on 100.7 CFJL. Jewel 101 Winnipeg.
What should we bring to the lake for dinner tonight?
Something easy that we can throw in the cooler.
Turkey.
Granny's Poultry introduces their seasoned boneless turkey breast.
Sounds good.
Really good.
Pick up a Granny's frozen seasoned boneless turkey breast from your neighborhood grocery store. Throw it in the cooler, and by the time you get to the lake, it's barbecue ready. Granny's Poultry, your local poultry farmer's own cooperative. To find a retailer or for simply delicious recipes, visit grannys.ca. Granny's, good-natured.
Save on your next energy bill with helpful tips from Manitoba Hydro. Even small changes can make a big impact on the environment. Install dimmer switches on the lights you use most often to control exactly how much light and electricity you use. Unplug your cell phone chargers once they finish charging. Chargers continue to draw energy even after your device is fully charged. And whenever possible, use cold water for laundry. For more ways to conserve energy, visit hydro.mb.ca.
The Goldeyes Field of Dreams Foundation supports children's charities in Manitoba. I'm Tony Fletcher, Foundation President, urging you to get involved with the Fillmore Riley Case for Kids program by pledging a dollar amount per Goldeyes strikeout. Or show your support by picking up a Goldeyes license plate from your local auto pack dealer. The foundation receives $30 from each one sold. Thanks to you, the Field of Dreams Foundation has donated more than $1.6 million to children's charities since 1995.
Going on vacation can be exciting.
Woo! Bon voyage, Winnipeg!
But when you're miles away from Winnipeg, the last thing you want to worry about is the security of your home. That's why Commissionaires Manitoba offers a house watch service. They'll do an interior and exterior patrol of your property, bring in your mail, remove snow from your car, even water your plants. Don't leave your house to chance. Leave it to the Commissionaires. Go to commissionaires.mb.ca.
Support your own, the Goldeyes. And Fort Garry Brewing. Located right here in Winnipeg, Fort Garry Brewing is Manitoba's #1 brewery, crafting a full spectrum of delicious beers and ales, including the award-winning Fort Garry Dark and the fan-favorite Fort Garry Pale, both of which are available at Shaw Park, so cheer on the home team. Fort Garry Brewing, Manitoba made, Manitoba's own.
It's time for Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on the crystal clear FM airwaves of Jewel 101. Now, let's go to the ballpark for tonight's game. Here's Steve Schuster.
From Shaw Park in Winnipeg, Manitoba, you're listening to the 2014 American Association All-Star Game presented by Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries. The American Association North All-Stars will take on the All-Stars from the South in what should be a great event. This is the culmination of the 2014 American Association All-Stars celebrations. The best the American Association has to offer will play head-to-head here tonight. Kevin Hooper of the Wichita Wingnuts and Greg Taggart of the Cary South Shore Railcats are exchanging the lineup cards at home plate. We'll take a look at tonight's starting pitching matchup. On the Rubber is brought to you by Cal Tire, with 6 convenient locations in the Capital Region, or more than just tires. Cal Tire, true service. For the American Association North, the league's leader in ERA, Anthony Claggett, will take the mound. 14 starts in the year. He's 5-4. Leads the American Association with a 2.46 ERA, 95 1/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 81 hits, walked 31, and struck out 67. Opponents hitting .228 against Anthony Claggett, the former major leaguer. Claggett, who got a World Series ring with the New York Yankees back in the 2009 season, also had an opportunity with the Pittsburgh Pirates that same year. Claggett has been in the American Association the last 3 seasons, and over the last 2, he's been one of the top 3 or 4 starting pitchers in this league, and he will get the ball tonight for the American Association North All-Stars. Claggett in his 10th year of professional baseball, a lifetime record of 56-43 and a 3.50 ERA. Starting is still relatively new to Anthony Claggett, who has been predominantly a relief pitcher in his professional career. He does have 41 saves, and when he first joined the Saints in 2012, he worked early on out of the bullpen before moving into a starting role midway through the season. Claggett, an 11th round draft pick by the Detroit Tigers in 2005, and his opponent for the American Association South will be a right-hander by the name of Jason Van Skyke. Van Skyke is second in the league in ERA. He's made 19 appearances this season, 9 starts for the Wichita Wingnuts. He's 8-3, an ERA of 2.84, second behind Anthony Claggett's 2.46 mark. Van Skyke, 73 innings pitched. He's allowed 79 hits, only walked 17, and he has struck out 37. Opponents hitting .277 against Jason Van Skyke. Van Skyke, a former farmhand of the Chicago White Sox, signed with Chicago out of Indiana State University in 2011 as an undrafted free agent. He is 18-11 in his career with a 3.06 ERA over 4 professional seasons. And like Anthony Claggett, he had been predominantly a relief pitcher coming into this year. Van Skyke was even a reliever to begin this season for the Wichita Wingnuts, and as you heard from the Wichita manager Kevin Hooper during the Rona pregame show ride to the ballpark, Van Skyke slid into the rotation about a month in, and he's been one of the best starters in the league ever since. Van Skyke in his career has averaged just 2.9 walks per 9 innings, and he will get the start here for the American Association South All-Stars. These All-Star games, very often a who's who of the league leaders, and that's very much the case right now. 5 of the top 10 pitchers in the league in ERA are represented on either the North or South All-Star squad, and 7 of the 10 top hitters in terms of batting average are on either the North or South All-Stars. It is the first American Association All-Star game since 2010 that was hosted by Wichita Lawrence Dumont Stadium. The league had played an All-Star game every year from its inception in 2006 up until 2010, and now for the first time in 4 years, the American Association hosting a Midsummer Classic. The starting pitchers, Anthony Claggett of the St. Paul Saints for the North, and Jason Van Skyke of the Wichita Wingnuts. He will get the ball for the South. We're going to have 2 great guests over the course of tonight's broadcast. Around the 5th inning, we'll be joined by Olympic gold medalist Caitlin Laws, a member of the Jennifer Jones gold medal curling team from this past Winter Olympics. Caitlin Laws representing the All-Star Game sponsor Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries as a member of their Impact team. And later on, around the 7th inning tonight, we'll have a chat with Baseball Hall of Famer Fergie Jenkins. Made a great speech earlier today at the All-Star Luncheon at the Fairmont Hotel. We'll talk with Fergie about his career and, of course, being the greatest Canadian native to ever play the game of baseball. Fergie Jenkins will be joining us around the 7th inning. So very excited to have both Caitlin Laws and Fergie Jenkins during tonight's broadcast. Anthony Claggett and Jason Van Skyke again will be the starting pitchers. What we'll do right now is take a very quick break, and when we come back, we'll have the starting lineups and first pitch after this for the 2014 American Association All-Star Game on Jewel 101.
CIBC and the Winnipeg Goldeyes have partnered to fight cancer. On Sunday, October 5th, CIBC and Goldeyes employees, friends, and family will be running in communities across Canada for a future without breast cancer. Shaw Park, the home of the Winnipeg Goldeyes, will be your local run site for the Canadian Breast Cancer Foundation CIBC Run for the Cure. For more information, to register to run or make a donation, go to CIBC.com. Let's run for a future without breast cancer. Join in Sunday, October 5th at Shaw Park.
Can you guess who's top dog in the alley? Know who I'm talking about? I'll give you a clue. Silver trucks and green bins. That's right, Johnson Waste Management. Johnson Waste Management has been recognized as the top dog in the garbage business. Not 5, not 6, not 7, but 8 years in a row. Not bad for a locally owned family-run business in a dog-eat-dog world. Johnson Waste Management, doing their best to be the very best.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball on Jewel 101.
Back here at Shaw Park for the 2014 American Association All-Star Game. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the South All-Stars managed by Kevin Hooper of the Wichita Wingnuts, now in his 6th season. Ryan Corey of Wichita is the DH and leading off. Nick Van Stratton of Laredo is the center fielder and batting second. Brent Cleveland of Wichita is the right fielder hitting third. Ian Gack of Lincoln is at first base and batting cleanup. Devin Goodwin of Laredo is the shortstop hitting fifth. Carlo Testa of Wichita is the left fielder hitting sixth. Jay Cahalileo is the second baseman of Wichita batting seventh. Abel Nieves of Grand Prairie is at third base hitting eighth. And Chris McMurray of Wichita is the catcher and batting ninth. The starting lineup is brought to you by Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Fans, when you visit the Sky Suite level at Shaw Park, make sure to stop and relax in one of 3 Lazy Boy Comfort Zones. Each Lazy Boy Comfort Zone is fully furnished with the latest Lazy Boy sofas, love seats, coffee tables, and their world-famous recliners. The Winnipeg Goldeyes would like to thank Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries located at 1425 Ellis Avenue for their support. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries, live life comfortably. It'll be Ryan Corey, Nick Van Stratton, and Brent Cleveland to start things off in front of a packed house at Shaw Park. The 2014 American Association All-Star Game presented by Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries. Ryan Corey, the shortstop for the Wingnuts. He's the DH for the South Division. And the first pitch of the ball game, a fastball taken low and inside from Anthony Claggett. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Our opening pitch at 7:17 p.m. brought to you by Best Western Plus. Claggett winds, fastball misses outside, breaks off the mid of Luis Allen, and the count 2-0 on Ryan Corey. The Best Western Plus Winnipeg Airport Hotel is Winnipeg's premier event venue. Book your next corporate event, wedding, or conference at the Best Western Plus Winnipeg Airport Hotel. Corey, a right-hand batter deep in the box. Fastball misses inside, and the count is now 3-0. Ryan Corey having arguably the best year of his 9-year professional career, a former 12th round draft pick of the Boston Red Sox in 2006. He's hitting .332 in the year, 9 homers and 39 runs batted in. Fastball over the inside half, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike on Ryan Corey. Corey facing a former off-season teammate. Both Ryan Corey and Anthony Claggett played together in Australia 2 winters ago, playing for the Perth Heat. Here's the windup from the righty, and the 3-1 pitch. Low and inside, ball 4. So Ryan Corey draws a 5-pitch leadoff walk, and that'll bring up Nick Van Stratton, another guy having an outstanding year, the center fielder for the Laredo Lemurs, and he is starting in center field tonight for the American Association South. Nick Van Stratton, last year's start for the Sioux Falls Canaries, had a great year, and now he's putting up similar numbers for the Lemurs. Van Stratton recently had a 33-game hitting streak come to an end, a streak that ended on July 18th. It was 1 shy of tying the American Association record of 34. That was done by Stephen Douglas in 2011. First pitch, it's a fastball on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Ryan Corey, one of the top base stealers in the American Association, is on first. He's held by Winnipeg Goldeyes first baseman Casey Harther. Not generally a ton of steals in an all-star game. We'll see if Corey, though, tries to run as Van Stratton lines one towards the middle. One up taken by Kuhn, goes to second for 1. Danny Pulfers, though, to first, won't be in time. And Stratton with great speed, and Casey Arthur at a step in front of the bag. A splintered bat and a one-hopper towards short. Tyler Kuhn of the Winnipeg Goldeyes grab it. He flipped to Danny Pulfer, who was starting at second base. And they were able to get the force out on Ryan Corey. So Van Stratton is safe at first with one down. Defensively tonight for the American Association North, Casey Harther is at first base. Danny Pulfer at second. Ronnie Berkwin at third. Tyler Kuhn is the shortstop. Donnie Webb is in left field. Evan Bigley in center. Drew Martinez in right. And Luis Allen does the catching for the former Major League right-hander Anthony Claggett. Here's Brent Cleveland on the Wichita Wingnuts, a right-hand bat. And the first pitch, swing and a miss at a changeup down low. The count is 0-1. Claggett, a big guy, 6'3", 195 pounds. A 30-year-old right-hander from Hemet, California. Nick Van Stratton, like Ryan Corey, also has tremendous speed. Van Stratton on the year with 10 steals in 15 attempts. He's got a huge lead at first. And the 0-1 pitch. Slider taken outside, 1 ball and 1 strike on Brent Cleveland, the Wingnut center fielder. Tonight he is playing right field for the South All-Stars. The outfield playing him deep and a couple of steps to left. Cleveland, like Winnipeg Goldeyes center fielder Reggie Abercrombie, a true 5-tool threat. Can beat you in every way on the diamond. Fastball taken inside. And the count is now 2-1. Cleveland, a former high-round draft pick, a second-rounder by the Detroit Tigers out of high school. Brent Cleveland drafted back in 2002 out of his hometown in Austin, Texas. Van Stratton on first and 1 man down. No score, top of the first. Swinging a chopper to third base, a foul ball. Breaks off the mitt of Ronnie Berkwin. And it's now 2-2 on Brent Cleveland with Ian Gack, the slugging first baseman for the Lincoln Salt Dogs, waiting on deck. It is a gorgeous evening for baseball, 25 degrees Celsius, 77 Fahrenheit, with partly cloudy skies, humidity at 50%, and winds of just 8 kilometers per hour coming out of the northwest. Nick Van Stratton, the Laredo Lemurs outfielder, is on first. Casey Harther, a right-hand fielding first baseman, holding him on. No score, top of the first in the 2014 American Association All-Star Game. Cleveland crowds the plate, the 2-2 pitch. Slider outside, runner goes to second base by Luis Allen. And out at second is Nick Van Stratton. Van Stratton got a bit of a late jump. Luis Allen throwing from 1 knee down to second base. And Danny Pulfer applies the tag. Van Stratton is caught stealing 2-4. So now it's 2 outs and nobody on base. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Brent Cleveland. And now Anthony Claggett will go back into the windup. The umpires for tonight's All-Star Game, a 4-man crew. Lance Schoenwald, the veteran, is behind the plate. Joe Stegner is at first. Darius Gotti at second. And Bobby Feaster is at third. 3-2 pitch. Slider just outside, ball 4. So Brent Cleveland draws a 2-out walk, the second of the inning, issued by Anthony Claggett. Claggett in his 3rd year with the St. Paul Saints, joined them first back in 2012. He got off to a bit of a rough start as a reliever, but when George Samus, the longtime Saints manager, moved him into the rotation about a month and a half into the year, he has blossomed into one of the top starting pitchers in this league. He would eventually finish that 2012 season with a winning record. He would go 7-4 with a 5.05 ERA. Here's Ian Gack, a right-hand batter. Fastball taken low and inside, 1 ball and 0 strikes. Last season, Anthony Claggett was 9-6. with an ERA at 3.11. And entering this All-Star game, Claggett, the league leader in ERA at 2.45. On first is Brent Cleveland, a fast runner. 1 on and 2 out, top of the first inning. Claggett from the stretch, and Gack takes a fastball at the knees, 87 miles an hour. It's 1-1. Ian Gack and Craig Maddox, the reserve catcher for the North All-Stars, put on a show last night in the final round of the Home Run Derby. Ian Gack might have the best natural power of anyone in the American Association. A big right-handed slugger. He's had great career numbers against the Winnipeg Goldeyes and here at Shaw Park. The 1-1 pitch, check swing, fastball high and inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Ian Gack first joined the Lincoln Salt Dogs last season. Unfortunately, he missed a lot of time in the middle of the year with a broken hand. He was hit by a pitch, but he would come back and finish strong. And he enters tonight hitting .358 with 15 homers and 46 runs batted in. Swinging a foul straight back and a changeup, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gack's .358 average, 3rd best in the American Association. The 15 homers ranked 2nd. A runner on first, 2 away in the top half of the first inning. Ian Gack, a right-hand batter. Taps the inside of home plate. The outfield playing him deep and a couple of steps to left. He had 4 homers in the final round of last night's home run derby. Fastball way inside, 3-2, and that'll give Brent Cleveland the automatic start on first. Devin Goodwin, who is the starting shortstop for the South, is waiting on deck. Dak hit 4 homers, and he did 2 things that we haven't seen anyone do at any point this season. He pulled a home run to deep left that hit the light pole beyond the Donnie Smith retired number. Then he hit an opposite field homer off the scoreboard. Runner goes, swinging a high fly ball to right center. Moving in is Evan Bigley. He's under it. Bigley makes the catch, and Dak is retired to finish up the top of the first inning. No runs, no hits, and 1 runner left on base. Middle of the first at Shaw Park. It's the South All-Stars nothing, and the North All-Stars coming to bat on Jewel 101.
Go to bostonpizza.com and finger cook a meal the whole family will love. Don't waste your precious time cooking when you don't have to. We know you've got more important things to do, like watching sports highlights, stopping your kids from bumping into stuff, or simply taking a break from napping. And with over 100 menu items to choose from, everyone can get exactly what they want. To order, call 925-4111 or finger cook today at bostonpizza.com.
Nice day. Want a drink?
Yeah, sure. Pass me a Pepsi. Whoa. Do you hear that? Open your Pepsi. Whoa. That was awesome.
Hit it out of the park this summer with the cool, refreshing taste of Pepsi. Pepsi. Live for now.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball on Jewel 101.
No score, bottom half of the first in the 2014 American Association All-Star Game. We'll take a look at tonight's starting lineup for the American Association North, managed by Greg Taggart of the Gary South Shore Railcats, who is in his 10th season. Danny Pulfer of Gary South Shore is at second base and leading off. Tyler Kuhn of Winnipeg is at shortstop and batting second. Casey Arthur of Winnipeg is the first baseman hitting third. Henry Wrigley of St. Paul is the DH in batting cleanup. Ronnie Berkwin of Fargo Moorhead is at third base hitting fifth. Evan Bigley of St. Paul is the center fielder hitting sixth. Luis Allen of Winnipeg is the catcher hitting seventh. Drew Martinez of Gary is the right fielder hitting eighth. And Donnie Webb of Winnipeg is the left fielder and batting ninth. On the mound this evening for the South All-Stars, Wichita Wingnuts right-hander Jason Van Skyke, who is second in the league in earned run average. Van Skyke, 19 appearances this year, 9 as a starter. He is 8-3 and second in the league with a 2.84 earned run average. The 8 victories for Jason Van Skyke. Tied for second in the league, he'll take on Danny Pulfer, Tyler Kuhn, and Casey Arthur in the bottom half of the first inning. 3 teams that have the top records in the league, well represented in this All-Star game. The host Goldeyes with 6 representatives, 5 of which are on the active roster. Ryan Pineda is dressed in a uniform. Pineda, of course, unfortunately, has been sidelined the last couple of weeks with an injury, but he's hoping to come back fairly soon. And Pineda in the dugout, one of the 6 Goldeyes that were named to the original team. Wichita well represented with 8 players, and the Railcats, the defending champions, have 5. Danny Pulfer, right-hand batter, leads off, and the first pitch by Jason Van Skyke is a fastball over the inside corner for a strike. It's 0-1. Pulfer was voted in as the starting third baseman, and his teammate Zach Mitchell was voted in at second. But Mitchell, unfortunately, is unable to participate due to injury, so Pulfer is slid over to second base. Fastball misses just outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. It's a position that Danny Pulfer played quite a bit last year. Pulfer, a guy who could play all over the infield. First, second, third, or short. In fact, there were several times throughout last year where Pulfer would begin a game at second or short and finish over at first. The 1-1 pitch, swinging a ground ball to shortstop, moving in front, Devin Goodwin. Taps the glove and throws on to first base in time to get Danny Pulfer. And there's 1 away in the bottom half of the first. Defensively tonight for the American Association South, Ian Gack is at first base. Jake Cahaly-Leo is at second. Abel Nieves at third. Devin Goodwin is the shortstop. Carlo Testa in left field. Nick Van Straten in center. Brent Cleveland is in right. And Chris McMurray does the catching for the right-hander, Jason Van Skyke. Tyler Kuhn of the Goldeyes steps in, a left-hand batter. Takes a fastball over the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. Van Skyke, like Anthony Claggett, a big guy, 6'4", 205 pounds, a 25-year-old righty from Gig Harbor, Washington. Kuhn swings and he grounds one foul to the right side. The count is 0-2. Goldeyes fans, of course, familiar with Tyler Kuhn and the job that he's done this season. Not only has he put up great numbers and played great defense, he has been maybe the most durable Goldeye this year. He started every single game at shortstop. Mostly in the leadoff spot the last week or so, he has batted third. He takes a fastball high and outside from Jason Van Skyke, and the count is now 1-2 strikes. Tyler Kuhn hitting .354 on the year, 4 homers and 36 runs batted in. Van Skyke to the windup on the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball taken outside, 77 miles an hour. 2-2 on the Winnipeg Goldeyes shortstop, and the starting shortstop for the North, Tyler Kuhn, is .354 batting average. Currently ranks 4th best in the American Association. He crowds the plate, a wide stance. And the 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, got him on a breaking ball. And there's 2 men down here in the first inning. That first strikeout is brought to you by Manitoba Hydro. Manitoba Hydro reminds you to be safe around electricity. 1 strike and you're out. So Kuhn retired on strikes, and that'll bring up another Winnipeg Goldeye. Casey Harther having a terrific season. Harther, the starting first baseman. He leads the league in batting at .389. 8 home runs and 45 runs batted in. A tall right-hand batter who holds the bat high above his head. And the first pitch from Jason Van Skyke, a fastball on the outside half, and the count is 0-1. Jason Van Skyke, undrafted out of Indiana State University as a senior in 2011. Swing and a miss at a fastball away, and the count goes to 0-2. But he got an opportunity with the Chicago White Sox organization, signed as a non-drafted free agent. Right-hander against right-hander. The 0-2 to Casey Harther, fastball taken high and away, and it's 1-2 strikes. Last year, Van Skyke pitching in the White Sox organization for the Winston-Salem Dash, their high A affiliate in the Carolina League. And he had excellent numbers, a 2.80 ERA. 1-2 pitch to Harther, breaking ball down low, and the count is 2 strikes. He made 30 appearances, 21 in relief. Went 3-5 in 74 innings, struck out 45. Has very good control, averaging just 2.9 walks per 9 innings in his 4-year professional career. Bases empty, 2 outs, no score, bottom of the first. The 2-2 pitch, breaking ball, misses outside, and it's 3-2. Right now, Jason Van Skyke pitching to his regular battery mate, Chris McMurray, the catcher for the Wichita Wingnuts. Outfield deep and a step to left against Casey Harther. Now Van Skyke will step back. He'll ask for a new set of signals. Henry Wrigley, the power slugger from the St. Paul Saints, is waiting on deck. Wrigley and Casey Harther at the plate, participated in last night's home run derby. 3-2 pitch, outside ball 4. Missed with a fastball, a 2-out walk. And that'll bring up Henry Wrigley, tonight's DH for the American Association North. Wrigley having a great season. In 57 games played, a .318 batting average, 14 home runs. Those are tied for 3rd in the league. And he has driven in 57. Those rank 2nd. 1 player absent from this game, Travis Denker, who had the opportunity to stay home with a newborn child back for the Laredo Lemurs, their starting second baseman. Wrigley goes after the first pitch and pops one up towards third base. Abel Nieves waiting under it, a step to his left, and Nieves makes the catch to his side, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, and 1 runner left on base. End of 1 inning at Shaw Park. No score in the All-Star game on Jewel 101.
Watching the game is something to enjoy. But remember, drinking any alcohol and driving don't mix. Drinking and driving puts you and others in danger. Your best bet is a designated driver who has had no alcohol. Enjoy the game, but whatever you do, don't drink and drive. To keep Manitobans safe behind the wheel, police are increasing enforcement near you. Watch for them. A message from Manitoba Public Insurance.
Is your car clean on the inside but dirty on the outside? No problem. Get an exterior washed at the Chamois for only $8.92. And remember, July is Kidney Month at the Chamois. The Chamois Car Wash and Detail Centers are once again helping to raise money and awareness for the Kidney Foundation through their Buy a Bean promotion. Buy a bean and receive a free Lustra Shield treatment. No appointment necessary. Come into any of the 3 Chamois locations today: Waverly, Reinders, or St. James.
Go to bostonpizza.com and finger cook a meal the whole family will love. Don't waste your precious time cooking when you don't have to. We know you've got more important things to do, like watching sports highlights, stopping your kids from bumping into stuff, or simply taking a break from napping. And with over 100 menu items to choose from, everyone can get exactly what they want. To order, call 925-4111 or finger cook today at bostonpizza.com.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball on Jewel 101.
Help support the Winnipeg Goldeyes Field of Dreams Foundation by purchasing a Path of Dreams sidewalk brick, and your name will go down in history. Literally. Personalized bricks located on the walkway to Shaw Park are a unique way to honor loved ones, promote businesses and organizations, or celebrate a special event. For more information on how to purchase your Path of Dreams sidewalk brick, call the Goldeyes office at 982-BASE. Top half of the second in the 2014 American Association All-Star Game presented by Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries. No score. Anthony Claggett will work a second inning here for the American Association North. The first pitch to Devin Goodwin, the shortstop for the Laredo Lemurs. A fastball taken high and inside, and the count is 1-0 strikes. Devin Goodwin has been around the league for several years, spent the last couple seasons in Kansas City. He takes a fastball low and in, and it's now 2-0. Goodwin this year, 66 games played, a .296 average, 13 home runs, and 47 runs batted in. Over the last 2 years, he's combined for 30 homers and 95 runs batted in. The 2-0 pitch, line drive to the left field line that'll hook into the seats. Beyond the bullpen down the left field side, it's 2-1 strike. Goodwin drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals, a 33rd round pick in 2009. Out of Delta State University, a native of Russellville, Alabama, resides in Homewood, Alabama in the offseason. Can also play second and third base. The 2-1 pitch, line drive to right field. Drew Martinez moving back over by the track, reaches, it's over his head. Devin Goodwin on his way to second base. Martinez up with the ball, and his throw to second will not be in time. So Devin Goodwin, not a ton of wind, but that ball carried over the head of Drew Martinez and one off the bottom of the right center field fence. So the South Division with a chance to take the lead here in the second. Carlo Testa, having a fine year for the Wichita Wingnuts, steps to the plate. Testa entering today is 6th in the league in batting at .347 with 6 homers and 41 runs batted in. Testa in his first year in the American Association. A left-hand batter stands off the plate. He is the only lefty in the starting lineup for the South All-Stars. Anthony Claggett delivers, and it's a fastball taken low and outside. 1-0 strikes. Anthony Claggett reaching the major leagues with the Yankees and the Pirates in 2009, originally drafted by the Tigers, but he was traded from the Tigers to the Yankees in the trade in which the Tigers received longtime All-Star slugger Gary Sheffield. Here's the 1-0 pitch, swinging a bouncer foul to the right side, and the count is 1-1. Claggett would get to the majors with the Yankees, made a couple of appearances over 2 2/3 innings. He was later dealt that year to the Pittsburgh Pirates and would make one more appearance in the bigs. Now with Claggett on the roster for the Yankees during that 2009 season, while he didn't finish with the club, they were still able to get him a World Series ring the following year. Fastball taken low and inside, 2-1. We were able to have Anthony Claggett on around the association when the Saints visited Winnipeg in the early part of June. And it kind of caught him by surprise. He actually had another teammate that was with the Yankees that season. He was then with the Pittsburgh Pirates AAA affiliate at the time in Indianapolis, and both received their rings shortly into the 2010 year. Testa swings and drives one to center, coming on Bigley, slides, and he makes the catch. And that'll send Devin Goodwin back to second. Evan Bigley of the St. Paul Saints takes away a base hit and an RBI from Carlo Testa. Drove that well to left center field, and Bigley was able to slide towards left field and made a backhand stop. So the first great defensive play of this ball game, and it's Evan Bigley of the Saints. That'll bring up Jake Cahalileo of the Wichita Wingnuts, their third-year second baseman. He won the batting title in the American Association in 2012, hitting .372. Edging former Goldeye Byron Myro, who is playing for the Grand Prairie Airhogs. Cahalileo, a right-hand batter, a wide-open stance. And the first pitch from Anthony Claggett, a slider catches the inside corner for a strike, and the count is 0-1. Cahalileo from Petaluma, California, lives in Windsor, California in the offseason. Former 20th round draft pick of the Cincinnati Reds and a 1.8 AA All-Star in the Southern League. Now in his 7th year of professional baseball. He takes a slider on the outside corner for a strike, and it's 0-2. 65 games played this year. Cahalileo, .313, 4 homers, and 46 runs batted in. Among the top 10 in the league. Devin Goodwin on second and 1 down, no score. Top half of the second in the All-Star game, and a great crowd in hand at Shaw Park. Claggett working from the stretch, first base side of the rubber. The 0-2 swing and a miss, got him on a slider off the plate. So Jake Cahalileo struck out by Anthony Claggett, his first strikeout. Abel Nieves will now step up. So the 2012 American Association batting champion struck out by Anthony Claggett, and now the 2013 batting champion will step to the plate. Abel Nieves of the Grand Prairie Airhawks. He won the batting title last year playing for Wichita. He hit .357 in 2013. He's having another great year, .329 this season with a homer and 27 runs batted in. A right-hand batter and a great swing to the opposite field. Runner on second and 2 outs. The pitch, swing, and miss at a breaking ball away, and the count is 0-1. Nieves has been as high as AAA. Was originally signed by the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, a 50th round draft pick in 2004 out of Middle Georgia College. Right-hand pitcher, right-hand batter, no score in the top of the second. Claggett trying to work around the leadoff double. Nieves swings, chops it out to short, backhanded by Tyler Kuhn, throws to first. It's in time to get Nieves, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 runner left on base. Middle of the second here at Shaw Park. No score on Jewel 101.
The real estate news is online and connected. Connected to the latest MLS listings wherever you are. Print, online, mobile. It's in your hands. Visit WinnipegRealEstateNews.com. The real estate news is online and connected. Connected to the latest MLS listings wherever you are. Print, online, mobile. It's in your hands. Visit WinnipegRealEstateNews.com.
You know, shopping for new clothes really shouldn't lead to an existential crisis.
Why? Just why?
Find your fit at Sargent Blue Jeans. Choose from your favorite brands like Silver, Levi's, Buffalo, and Dickies. Sargent Blue Jeans carries specialty and hard-to-find sizing with on-site alterations while you wait. You don't have to settle for good enough when you can get the perfect fit. For the best in casual and work clothes, hit a home run with Sargent Blue Jeans, located on the corner of Sargent and Valor.
Hey, you're looking red and shiny today.
Ah, it's just the burger sweats, babe.
That's not normal.
Nah, it's cool. I read the nutrition fact things like you said. I've got enough sodium for like 3 days.
It's easy to make the healthy choice at Jugo Juice. Jugo Juice smoothies are made with real fruit and veggies, 100% fruit juice with no added sugar, and no sorbet fillers or purees. So whatever you order, it's loaded with the good stuff. Stop by Jugo Juice at Shaw Park or Polo Park.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball on Jewel 101.
Come celebrate your birthday Goldeyes style. Partygoers receive a souvenir hot dog, potato chips, and soft drink, plus birthday cake and mini donuts to enjoy in the stands, courtesy of Little Orbit's Mini Donuts. The guest of honor also receives a birthday card, Goldeyes baseball, photo with Goldie, happy birthday, PA announcement during the game, and more. Parties are just $16 per person based on a minimum of 10 guests. Call the Goldeyes office at 982-BASE to book your next birthday bash. We go to the bottom half of the second of the 2014 American Association All-Star Game. No score. Jason Van Skyke of the Wichita Wingnuts will go out for a second inning of work. Dustin Crenshaw of the Gary South Shore Railcats, the Goldeyes actually haven't seen in 2 different series, is expected to take over for the North in the top of the third. Meanwhile, Marquise Fleming, having a great year for Lincoln, is warming up down the right field line. It looks like Fleming will be pitching the bottom half of the third inning for the South Division. It'll be 9-1-2 coming up for the South. Chris McMurray, Ryan Corey, and Nick Van Stratton. Pardon me. 5, 6, and 7 here for the North in the bottom half of the second. Ronnie Berkwin, Evan Bigley, and Luis Allen. Ronnie Berkman, a left-handed batter, participated in the home run derby last night. He got to the semifinals. He had 2 homers in the first round. He had 1 in the semis and was edged by Craig Maddox, who would go on to have a phenomenal finals. And at 10 homers in round number 3, Ronnie Berkman, Evan Bigley, and Luis Allen, these schedule hitters. Ronnie Berkman has been around the league for 4 seasons now. He spent 2 with the St. Paul Saints, 2011 and 2012, and has been with the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks since last season. Ronnie Berkman, mostly a third baseman, has also seen time over at first. 65 games this year, hitting .259 with 12 homers and 44 runs batted in. He's really been one of the most consistent guys in the league since joining the Saints back in 2011. He'll hit close to 300. He's going to get double digits in homers. He'll hit 20-plus doubles, drive at about 60 runs, and he'll draw a ton of walks, a lifetime .378 on-base percentage. Another high-round draft pick, former second-rounder. The first pitch from Jason Van Skyke is a fastball taken high and outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Berkman, a second-rounder by the Tigers in 2006 out of Ohio State University. The 1-0 pitch, swung in and grounded foul off to the right side. It's now 1-1. Berkman in his 9th year of professional baseball. He was the Big Ten's Player of the Year during his junior season in 2006 for the Ohio State Buckeyes. He had .416 before getting drafted by Detroit. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, good changeup outside. And the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jason Van Skyke, a guy who's not overpowering, but he has very good command of multiple pitches. Breaking ball, fastball, a 2-seam fastball and changeup. Berkman, a left-hand bat. Here's the 1-2. That one taken outside a curve, and it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes, clocked at 77 miles an hour. Outfield shading Ronnie Berkman a few steps the other way. He crowds the plate and stands very deep in the box. Van Skyke to the windup, and the 2-2 pitch, low and inside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Marquise Fleming continues to warm up, a member of the Lincoln Salt Dogs, and one of 3 representatives, along with their closer Marshall Schuler, the league leader in saves, and the slugging first baseman Ian Gack. Van Skyke with a glove beneath his eyes as he goes into the windup. The 3-2 to Berkman, swinging a ground ball foul outside of first base. Got in front of a slider, and it's still 3-2. Ronnie Berkman, a lifetime .275 hitter. Mentioned the .378 on base percentage. He has drawn 49 walks here in 2014, among the league leaders in on base percentage. This year his on base mark at .388. Infield shifted a bit to the right against Berkman. Another 3-2 and a high fly ball, pretty deep right field. Back goes Cleveland onto the track, reaches, and he makes the catch. Brent Cleveland with a running grab towards the right field fence. A nice drive by Ronnie Berkman. He's retired for the first out in the bottom half of the second. Hey fans, next time you're at a Goldeyes game, bring along a non-perishable food item for donation to Winnipeg Harvest. Collection bins are located at every ballpark entrance. Peak of the Market and the Goldeyes encourage all listeners to help those in need. Evan Bigley, the center fielder for the St. Paul Saints, stepping to the plate. Bigley, a right-hand batter, and having a very well-rounded season. He's had some power, hitting for a high average. He can run the bases real well and plays excellent defense. He swings and drives at a right center field, moving over Cleveland, reaches down and makes the catch. Well, a couple of nice plays by Brent Cleveland, a right fielder tonight for the South All-Stars, usually a center fielder. Mentioned earlier that Brent Cleveland, a true 5-tool player, and can beat you in a lot of different ways, and here he has caught a couple of balls in right field. Well, looks like that's going to do it for Jason Van Skyke. He goes an inning and 2/3 scoreless. Marquise Fleming of the Lincoln Salt Dogs now coming in. We'll tell you more about him after this break on Jewel 101.
My son loves hockey, but after a body check last season, I didn't think he would play. He slid hard into the boards. I was worried. We went to our family chiropractor. He set up a treatment plan, and his care was partly covered by Manitoba Health. Now, my son's back on the ice playing and enjoying every minute, even the practices. Thanks to our chiropractor for making life better.
Manitoba Chiropractors, making life better.
Summer is the season for long family road trips.
Are we there yet?
And if you want to make it there, it's time to go to Cal Tire. Whether you come in for a tire rotation, an alignment, or even a basic oil service, all your visits come with a free mechanical inspection. Get your vehicle ready for high temperatures and heavy use. Talk to Cal at any one of 5 convenient Winnipeg locations.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball on Jewel 101.
This pitching change is brought to you by Johnson Waste Management. Call 452-0909. Marquise Fleming of the Lincoln Salt Dogs, one of the best changeups in the league, will take over for the starter Jason Van Skyke. Van Skyke of the Wichita Wingnuts goes an inning and 2/3 scoreless. His line is closed after getting a line out to right field off the bat of Evan Bigley. No hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout of Van Skyke through 23 pitches. Marquise Fleming of the Lincoln Salt Dogs on the season, 13 games all starts. He's 7-3 with a 3.22 earned run average, 81 innings pitched, 67 hits allowed, 34 walks, 62 strikeouts. Opponents are hitting just .223 against Marquise Fleming. His 3.22 ERA, currently ranked 6th best in the American Association, and he will take on Luis Allen of the Winnipeg Goldeyes. Allen, the starting catcher for the American Association North, and once again having a great year offensively, defensively, and in terms of his durability. The Winnipeg Goldeyes this year have played 68 games. Allen has appeared in 66. Luis, over the last 4 years, has played 93 or more games, which is just an incredibly high figure when you consider this is a 100-game season in the American Association. Allen catches nearly every single day. He'll catch a day game after a night game. He'll catch both ends of a doubleheader, and he will catch all 9 innings in the process. And he provides you great offense as well. Luis Allen this year hitting .297 with 3 homers and 34 runs batted in. A career .292 hitter in 12 professional seasons. A right-hand batter deep in the box, Marquise Fleming goes from a full windup. And the first pitch, fastball lifted in the air towards right center field. Moving to his right is Brent Cleveland, and Cleveland makes the catch. So Cleveland catches 3 balls in the bottom half of the second. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on base. End of 2 innings of the 2014 American Association All-Star Game. It's the North All-Stars nothing and the South All-Stars nothing on Jewel 101.
Boys never outgrow their need for toys. The toys just get bigger. Metro Center, Winnipeg store for all things trailer, can help you take your toys anywhere you want to go. Trailers, parts, hitches, Metro Center has it all. Plus, you'll earn Air Miles reward miles with every purchase. Over 4,000 square feet of trailer parts, truck accessories, online ordering, knowledgeable staff, trailer service. Everything you need to haul your toys is at your Winnipeg trailer store. Metro Center, 620 Nairn. Visit metrotrailers.ca.
This is Goldeyes Baseball on 100.7 CFJL, Jewel 101, Winnipeg.
Here's the pitch, and oh, my goodness, a line drive right into Martin's face. I just smashed his glasses. He's standing up again, but boy, those glasses are toast.
Well, I bet he's glad he's covered by Manitoba Blue Cross.
Just like sports, life can throw you a curveball. And while provincial health care doesn't cover glasses or all prescription drugs, Manitoba Blue Cross has coverage options to keep you in the game.
Manitoba Blue Cross, the color of caring.
Visit mb.bluecross.ca to find out more.
Salisbury House has hit a home run with the introduction of their new premium fresh-cut fries by Cavendish. Available at all 7 Salisbury House family and 7 Sal's Express restaurants. And Shaw Park, too. They will remind you of the taste and quality when Mom made them at home. So swing into Sal's for their new fresh-cut fries on every platter. Ask about Goldeyes vouchers redeemable for free tickets to Goldeyes home games. Compliments of Salisbury House. Your house, your food, your way.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Jewel 101.
Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball is brought to you by MTS. Get unlimited internet on Manitoba with all your devices, only with MTS. Top half of the third in the 2014 American Association All-Star Game, and a new pitcher in the game for the American Association North, Dustin Crenshaw of the Gary South Shore Railcats, having an outstanding year, will take over for Anthony Claggett. Claggett goes 2 scoreless. He allows 1 hit. He walked 2 and struck out 1, throwing 32 pitches. Claggett of the St. Paul Saints will take a no decision in the All-Star Game, and Now we'll get our first look this year at Dustin Crenshaw, 7-4 in 16 starts with a 2.85 ERA, 107 and a third innings, 102 hits allowed, just 18 walks, 53 strikeouts, opponents hitting 251. Against Dustin Crenshaw, the 2.85 ERA currently ranks third best in the American Association. So already we've seen the top three pitchers with the best ERAs in the league. Early on in the All-Star game, Claggett was first, Jason Van Skyke second, and now we are seeing Dustin Crenshaw, who ranks third. The Goldeyes faced the Railcats twice this year, twice in a span of 2 weekends, but they missed Dustin Crenshaw both times. Crenshaw last year was in the Can-Am League with the Quebec Capitals, playing under former Goldeye Pat Scalabrini. Chris McMurray of the Wingnuts will lead things off. The catcher will take a fastball low and inside, 1 ball and 0 strikes. McMurray, Corey, and Van Stratton 9-1 and 2-2 up in the top half of the third inning. Crenshaw in his third year of professional baseball. He was 9-7 for the Capitals last season in 15 starts and 7 relief appearances. Chris McMurray, a right-hand batter, open stance. He swings and lifts one in the air to left center field. Bigley lost it on the lights, now charges in, reaches forward and makes the catch. Nice recovery by Evan Bigley. He lost it off the bat, but it hung up just long enough for him to charge in and make a backhand play just in front of his knee. So Chris McMurray is retired. And it's back to the top of the order for Ryan Corey, the DH. Ryan Corey has been an Iron Man of sorts over the last 3 years. He has missed exactly 1 game out of the 268 that the Wichita Wingnuts have played over the last 3 seasons. And earlier this year became the franchise's leader in walks, runs scored, and stolen bases. The first pitch, fastball, knee high for a strike from Dustin Crenshaw. It's 0-1. Ryan Corey has hit leadoff in all those games that we had mentioned and started at shortstop. In fact, during the 2012 season, he played in all 100 games. Swinging a line drive towards right center field. This ball is going to get down for a base hit. Martinez to his right to cut it off, and Ryan Corey is on base for a second time with a single to right field. During that 2012 year, Corey missed a total of just 5 innings the entire year. Started every game at shortstop and leading off, and would come out for just 5 innings over the course of that 2012 season. So here is Nick Van Stratton. We mentioned earlier had the 33-game hitting streak come to an end on July 18th. What a run there for Nick Van Stratton. He was 1 shy of tying the American Association record set by Stephen Douglas in 2011. Douglas did it for 2 teams, El Paso and Grand Prairie. The first pitch, fastball, misses low and inside, 1 ball and 0 strikes. Ryan Corey is on first base with 1 man down. Corey among the league leaders in stolen bases this season. He is second with 25 behind the Goldeyes outfielder Donnie Webb, who is also in the All-Star game. Webb tonight playing in left field for the North. The pitch, check swing. That fastball catches the outside corner. A cut fastball from Crenshaw, and it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Crenshaw went undrafted out of the University of South Alabama, originally from Pinole, California, and he would sign on with the Independent Capitals in 2012. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pat Scalabrini, by the way, Crenshaw's former manager, and now the manager of the Quebec Capitals, who have won 5 straight Can-Am League championships, has made the return here to Winnipeg. He is one of the coaches on Greg Taggart's North All-Stars staff. The Capitals are actually scheduled to play a game last night. It was eventually rained out, so Scalabrini got into town today. Swinging a deep drive down the right field line that'll slice over by the grass berm. And the count is still 1-2 on Nick Van Stratton. Van Stratton was an All-Star last season, a postseason All-Star for the Sioux Falls Canaries. Last season, Nick Van Stratton, while playing for Sioux Falls, finishing second in the league in batting, an average of .352. He had 6 homers and drove in 54. Swinging a slow grounder to short, tough play. Kuhn reaches down, he's got it, throws high to first, and it pulls harder off the bag. Van Stratton may have beaten it out anyway, and the South Division now has runners on first and second and 1 down. It'll be an infield single for Nick Van Stratton. Van Stratton last night won the outfield throwing accuracy contest. Brent Cleveland of the Wichita Wingnuts will now step to the plate. Cleveland drew a full count walk with 2 outs in the top half of the first inning. No score, we're in the third. The South with their first real threat of the ball game, first and second and 1 man down. Dustin Crenshaw, the Gary South Shore Railcats, 23-16 lifetime with a career 3.32 ERA. Great speed on the base paths for the South with Ryan Corey on second and Nick Van Stratton on first. Crenshaw from a high set. He looks back at second base. And the first pitch to Cleveland. Cutter taken outside. The count 1 ball and no strikes. Brent Cleveland, born and lives in Austin, Texas. And just a few months ago, he and his wife Amanda celebrated the birth of their first child, young Brady Cleveland. Cleveland, a second rounder by the Tigers in 2002, has played professional ball for 13 seasons. He takes a cutter inside, and it's now 2 balls and no strikes. Cleveland, a former major leaguer, spent parts of 4 seasons in the bigs with the Detroit Tigers and the Atlanta Braves. First got there in 2006, and he's a former minor and major league teammate of his current manager, Kevin Hooper. Crenshaw is ready, and the 2-0 pitch to Cleveland. Fastball high inside, and the count is now 3 balls and no strikes. Right-hander is warming up inside of the North Division bullpen down the third base line. It's Matt Rush, the former Goldeye, now with Les Aigues de Trois-Rivières of the Can-Am League. No score, top of the third. 3-0 the count on Brent Cleveland. Crenshaw delivers. Swinging a high fly ball to right field. Pretty deep. Back goes Martinez to his left. Martinez there makes the catch just inside the line. Corey and Van Stratton tags, and both will take the extra base. So a deep fly down the right field line, and Brent Cleveland retired. Swinging on the 3-0 count, Ryan Corey will go to third base, and Nick Van Stratton moves up to second. Second and third, and 2 men down. Ian Gack will now step to the plate. Mentioned during last night's final round of the Home Run Derby, Gack put on a show, and while he did lose to Craig Maddox, he had 2 of the most impressive homers we have seen at Shaw Park. He hit the top of the light tower, not just halfway up, which would be impressive in its own right, but he hit a towering home run that hit one of the foot candles at the very top of the light pole in left field. And then he hit the middle of the scoreboard out in right center, an opposite field shot. First pitch, fastball taken low and inside, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Ian Gack of the Lincoln Salt Dogs, a 26th round draft pick by the Rangers in 2003. Out of Edmonds Woodway High School in his home state of Washington, originally from the Seattle area. Crenshaw delivers, and the pitch, swinging a chopper towards third, backhanded up high by Ronnie Berkwin, steps in, fires across to first in time to get Ian Gack, and the side is retired. No runs. There were 2 hits and 2 runners left on base. Middle of the third in the American Association All-Star Game. Still no score on Jewel 101.
When's the last time your bank gave you a great big kiss when you walked through the door?
Excuse me?
That's what they do at Sonova Credit Union. Their DOG, you know, Director of Greetings, is a St. Bernard who welcomes all members.
Wow, can he schedule appointments too?
No need. At Sonova, you don't need an appointment, ever. Drop by whenever works for you. Bank brighter with Sonova Credit Union at one of their 11 branches throughout Manitoba, with convenient 7 days a week service in Winnipeg.
Here's the pitch, and it's a grand slam! Here they come. Cans, juice boxes, glass and plastic bottles into the bin.
The Winnipeg Goldeyes and Recycle Everywhere want you to swing for the fences and recycle all your empty beverage containers. They're full of potential and have thousands of uses beyond the landfill. Step up to the plate and pitch your drink containers into a recycling bin. Whether you're at home, work, school, or the ballpark, remember to recycle everywhere.
Boys never outgrow their need for toys. The toys just get bigger. Metro Center, Winnipeg store for all things trailer, can help you take your toys anywhere you want to go. Trailers, parts, hitches, Metro Center has it all. Plus, you'll earn Air Miles reward miles with every purchase. Over 4,000 square feet of trailer parts, truck accessories, online ordering, knowledgeable staff, trailer service. Everything you need to haul your toys is at your Winnipeg trailer store. Metro Center, 620 Nairn. Visit metrotrailers.ca.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball on Jewel 101.
Bottom half of the third, no score in the 2014 American Association All-Star Game presented by Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries. They go to the bottom half of the third inning. Drew Martinez of the Gary South Shore Railcats will lead things off. Marquise Fleming, who got the final out, and the bottom half of the second will begin the bottom half of the third. There was a lefty warming up inside the South bullpen, and the first pitch on the way to Drew Martinez is a fastball taken to the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. Drew Martinez, in his second year with the Gary South Shore Railcats, has been among the league leaders in hitting almost the entire year. He takes a fastball. It's on the inside corner. The count is 0-2. Martinez on the season, .352 with 2 homers and 38 runs batted in. He currently ranks 5th in the league batting race. Left-hand batter crowds the plate, a member of the Railcats championship team last season. The 0-2 swinging a ground ball towards the hole. Gack to his right field. Underhand flip to Fleming. Foot race to the bag. And Fleming gets there just in front of Drew Martinez. One away in the bottom half of the third. Get your group of 25 or more together for a Goldeyes game. Our group packages suit everyone from a family gathering to the team at work that wants to share in the experience of exciting Goldeyes baseball. These packages are full of benefits just for your group. Seating is available in all areas of Shaw Park. Call our group department at 982-BASE and let one of our event experts look after the details of your next outing. Don't forget to ask about our group picnic packages or the Goldeyes patio deck. Here's Donnie Webb of the Winnipeg Goldeyes, a switch hitter left-handed. Swing and a miss at a fastball from Marquise Fleming, and the count is 0-1. Donnie Webb having one of the best all-around seasons in the league this year. Came over from the Rockland Boulders in the Can-Am League, where he had a great year in 2013. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Changeup misses just outside, and the count is 1-1 strike. Donnie Webb, 67 games for the Goldeyes this year, 288, 9 homers, 37 driven in, and he leads the league with 28 stolen bases. The 1-1 pitch, changeup, foul straight back, and it's 1-2 strikes. Fleming really has one of the best changeups in the league, and certainly for a right-handed pitcher. Has the same arm speed as his fastball. Another guy not necessarily overpowering. He'll pitch in the high 80s, but it is tough to pick up the deception on that changeup, and often he will catch hitters out in front. Fastball line drive on the left field line. That slices foul just off the side fence, and it's still 1-2 on Donnie Webb, a former 10th round draft pick of the Cleveland Indians in 2008, and one of many Goldeyes with experience in the high levels of affiliated baseball. Webb getting to AAA twice in his career, 2009 and 2011. He crowds the plate from the left side, chokes up on the bat. Fleming to the windup, and the 1-2 pitch, fastball just inside, and it's 2 strikes. The American Association North, they're the home team in this All-Star game, and just about everyone wearing some variation of the home uniform. Webb and the Goldeyes in their traditional home whites. Webb swings and lines one down the right field line. That'll hook foul into the south bullpen, out in front of a 76-mile-an-hour changeup, and the count is still 2-2. And likewise, the South, the road team in the All-Star game, they are, for the most part, wearing some variation of a road uniform. 1 out and nobody on. We're in the bottom half of the third, no score. Danny Pulfer, the leadoff hitter, waits on deck. Another 2-2 pitch. Webb swings and grounds it out to second. 2 ups, knocked down by Cahalilio. He fields and throws to first in time to get Donnie Webb, and there's 2 men down in the bottom half of the third inning. For all Goldeyes home games this season, when the Goldeyes win, all fans in attendance win a Winnie Dog thanks to Salisbury House. If the Goldeyes win tonight, you can take your game ticket to any of the 7 Sal's Express locations to receive a free Winnie Dog with a purchase of fries. The offer is valid for 7 days following the victory, courtesy of Salisbury House. 1 offer per ticket, per person, per visit, not valid at Shaw Park. 2 outs and nobody on. Danny Pulfer grounded out to shortstop his first time up. Marquise Fleming from the windup in the first pitch. Breaking ball outside. It's 1 strikes. Many managers have called Danny Pulfer the most improved player this year in the American Association. And thanks to Danny Pulfer for joining us earlier in the special edition of Around the Association preceding the All-Star broadcast. A 1-0 pitch. Swinging a high fly ball foul off to the right side. 1 strike. Last season, Pulfer really tried to hit as many balls as he could to the opposite field, which isn't a bad thing at all. He can routinely come up with doubles and singles down the right field line or out to right center field. This year, though, he has really been able to use the entire field. His power numbers have gone up, and as we heard from Greg Taggart before this game, the Railcats will probably never lead the league in home runs. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball inside, 1-2. Gary South Shore as a team through Sunday's games have hit just 31 homers, second fewest in the league. Now that's in large part to the U.S. Steel Yard being a tough place to elevate the baseball. The Railcats on the road, though, as a road team, their home runs are up there with many of the league leaders. Teams like Fargo and Winnipeg that have hit a lot of homers. The 1-2 pitch, little looper towards shallow right, coming on Cleveland, and Cleveland makes the catch to his left. He's had a busy night in right field, And the South goes down 1-2-3 in the bottom half of the third. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on base. Into 3 innings in the 2014 American Association All-Star Game. No score on Jewel 101.
It's Ken, and I'm just not going to do a regular commercial here. I'll tell you what Ken would do. Ken would read the whole ad on this here Kenwood two-way radio from Prairie Mobile. It's tough, watch. See? Kenwood two-way radios will keep your business connected without the cell phone bill. Scramble features, and did I mention, it's tough. Two-way radios from Kenwood. It's what Ken would do, and you should too.
After the sale, it's the service that counts. Prairie Mobile, your Kenwood authorized dealer.
Nothing foggy, nothing to hide. Everything is crystal clear with Duraco windows. Duraco windows are built to last a lifetime, and they guarantee it 100% with their true lifetime warranty. Feel confident that should a seal fail, a lock break, or a weld crack, you are completely covered. A big investment should be backed big time, so know what you're getting right from the start. The choice is clear. Duraco windows. Go to Duraco.com now to book a free consultation.
To some, he is a hero. To others, merely heroic. But to us, he's a Pool's Hall of Famer. Raised on highlights and minor league stats, he played his game cards like he played Division 12 slow pitch. To win. Home team? Check. Visiting team? Check. Champion? Check. Be a legend. With Sports Select, Pool's players won over $7 million last year. Pick the winning teams today at your lottery retailer. Remember, keep it a game.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball on Jewel 101.
Top half of the fourth inning at Shaw Park. No score between the North All-Stars and South All-Stars. The first All-Star game in this league since 2010. It was an annual event over the first 5 years of the American Association. New pitcher in the ball game for the North, former Goldeyes righty Matt Rush, who is now a member of Les Aigles de Trois-Rivières of the Can-American League. And Rush gets a nice hand from the crowd here at Shaw Park. Matt Rush this season, 5-5 and 13 starts, an ERA of 3.00, 78 innings pitched, 83 hits, 25 walks, 75 strikeouts. Opponents are hitting .268. Against the right-hander Matt Rush. And he will take on Devin Goodwin, Carlo Testa, and Jay Cahale-Leo, 5, 6, and 7 in the top half of the fourth. The South has threatened a couple of times in this game. Here's the first pitch to Devin Goodwin. He takes a fastball on the outside half of the knees, and the count is 0-1. Goodwin led off the second with a double, but was stranded there. And then the South at first and second and one out in the third before Dustin Crenshaw worked out of trouble. Crenshaw scoreless inning, 2 hits, no walks, no strikeouts through 15 pitches. Goodwin swings, and it's a high fly ball, pretty deep right. Back goes Martinez. He's out the wall, leaping, and it's gone. Devin Goodwin with an opposite field homer just over the right field fence. And the South Division takes a 1-0 lead here in the top half of the fourth inning. So Devin Goodwin among the top power-hitting infielders in the American Association the last 3 years. Breaks the scoreless tie here in the top half of the fourth. Goodwin this season has hit 13 home runs. Drew Martinez made a nice effort leaping at the fence, but it was just beyond his glove in the South. He had a couple of extra base hits here from Devin Goodwin in this game of a 1-0 lead. Here's Carlo Testa, who takes a fastball high and outside from Matt Rush. And the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Testa drove the ball well to left center, but Evan Bigley made a great sliding catch to his right. Testa, a big left-handed batter. And the 1-0 pitch, swinging a foul off the mask of Luis Allen. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. It's kind of cool to see Matt Rush pitching to Luis Allen once again. Rush, 2 years ago, was arguably the best pitcher in the American Association. He won 10 ball games, led the league in ERA, finished tied for first in strikeouts, and then elevated his game even further in the postseason, winning the clinch game in both playoff series. Swing and a miss at a changeup, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. He would have another good year for the Goldeyes in 2013, going 7-4 in 23 starts with a 4.11 ERA. He's ahead 1-2 on Carlo Testa. Allen setting up outside. Now the pitch. Line drive to the left field line. That'll go foul into the first few rows of seats. And it's still 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors for the South. No runs, no hits, and no errors for the North. The in-game line score is brought to you by Culligan Water, better water, pure and simple. Culligan Water has been locally owned and operated since 1956, serving Winnipeg and the surrounding areas. Contact them at drinkculligan.com. Testa takes a fastball low and outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. When the Goldeyes get back from their road trip, which begins tomorrow, 8 games in Sioux Falls and Sioux City, Wichita will be in town. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, got him on a changeup. Nice pitch by Matt Rush to get Carlo Testa for the first out here in the top half of the 4th. It's 1-0 South behind the leadoff homer from Devin Goodwin. That'll bring up Jake Cahalileo, the second baseman of the Wichita Wingnuts. He was struck out by Anthony Claggett in the top half of the 2nd inning. Matt Rush, the former Goldeye, the 3rd pitcher for the American Association North. Claggett win the first 2. Crenshaw worked a scoreless top half of the 3rd. Matt Rush signed with the Detroit Tigers, an undrafted free agent in 2005. He's now in his 10th year of professional baseball. Swinging a deep drive towards left field. Donnie Webb going back, reaches, makes the grab just in front of the track. Hard hit ball by Jake Cahalileo, but Donnie Webb was in very good position to make the play. 2 outs and nobody on for Abel Nieves. Rush 62-34 in his career, a .646 lifetime winning percentage, and a 3.37 ERA. He pitched brilliantly against the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks, Game 3 of the 2012 North Division Series. And then he would pitch well in Game number 3 of the Championship Series at Wichita to help the Goldeyes win their first title in 18 years. Swinging a ground ball the other way. Diving stop by Pulfer. Gets to his feet. Goes to first in time to get Nieves. And the inning is over. Great play by Danny Pulfer in the hole on the right side of the infield. Made a diving stop on that sharp ground ball. And Matt Rush recovers after the solo homer to retire the next 3 hitters in a row. 1 run, there was 1 hit, and nobody left on base. Middle of the 4th inning at Shaw Park. It's 1-0 South All-Stars on Jewel 101.
The Best Western Plus Winnipeg Airport Hotel is dedicated to making your stay as easy and carefree as possible. With over 8,000 square feet of meeting space and 213 guest rooms, the Best Western Plus can accommodate events large and small. Their on-site catering team and event planners offer customized menu options and expert service. Book your next corporate event, wedding, or conference at the Best Western Plus Winnipeg Airport Hotel, 1715 Wellington Avenue, or call 204-786-0687 for more information.
Here's the pitch, and oh, my goodness, a line drive right into Morton's face.
I just smashed his glasses.
He's standing up again, but boy, those glasses are toast.
Well, I bet he's glad he's covered by Manitoba Blue Cross.
Just like sports, life can throw you a curveball. And while provincial health care doesn't cover glasses or all prescription drugs, Manitoba Blue Cross has coverage options to keep you in the game.
Manitoba Blue Cross, the color of caring.
Visit mb.bluecross.ca to find out more.
Step into Cub Bakery and you'll feel like you've come home. Cub Bakery, the oldest rye bread bakery in the city, has been making Winnipeg-style rye bread using virtually the same recipe since 1923. But they make so much more than their signature rye. Pick up fresh hearth and pan breads, pastries, and buns, all baked with care to ensure you and your family enjoy only the highest of quality. One taste and you'll understand why they're a Winnipeg tradition. Cub Bakery, always fresh.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball on Jewel 101.
Bottom half of the 4th inning of the 2014 American Association All-Star Game. New pitcher in the game for the South Division. Left-hander Sean Bierman of the Can-Am League's Rockland Boulders will take over for Marquise Fleming, who went an inning and a third scoreless. The South now leads 1-0. After a solo shot by Devin Goodwin in the top half of this inning. 2, 3, and 4 coming up for the North All-Stars. Tyler Kuhn, Casey Harther, and Henry Wrigley. Sean Bierman 6-5 and 12 starts for the Rockland Boulders. He's thrown 3 complete games on the year, and he has a 2.10 ERA. 90 innings, 75 hits, 14 walks, 51 strikeouts. Opponents hitting just .233. Tyler Kuhn swings and misses at a fastball inside, and the count is 0-1. Sean Bierman, a left-hander, standing in at 6'1", 200 pounds as Kuhn hits it on the ground, foul to the right side. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Bierman, 25 years old, from Kinnelon, New Jersey, and still lives in Kinnelon in the offseason, now in his 3rd year of professional baseball. A 10th round draft pick by Tampa Bay in 2012 out of the University of Tampa. The 0-2 to Kuhn, check swing and a breaking ball outside, And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Usually we would bring you the out-of-town scoreboard, which is brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross, the color of caring, right around this time in the broadcast. But of course, this is the only show in town right now in the American Association. The teams are back in action tomorrow. The Goldeyes will be in Sioux Falls to begin a 4-game series. Swinging a ground ball to the right. Nice backhand stop by Ian Gack. Flip to Bierman, and Bierman just to the bag just in time. Good job by Tyler Kuna trying to avoid that collision. Bierman a little bit slower there getting off the mound, but he was able to take the flip. And Kuna's retired by a half step. So 3-1 in the old spring training play. Casey Harther now stepping to the plate. Harther, the Winnipeg Goldeyes, do a full count walk with 2 outs in the bottom half of the first inning. A run, 4 hits, and no errors for the South. No runs, no hits, and no errors for the North. Harther swings and he hits it foul the other way. The count is 0-1. Tomorrow night at 7:05, the Goldeyes begin a 4-game series against the Sioux Falls Canaries at Sioux Falls Stadium. Bierman delivers, and there's a changeup down low. It's now 1 ball and 1 strike. 7:05 tomorrow at Lewis and Clark Park. The Sioux City Explorers host the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks in Sioux City, Iowa. The 1-1 pitch, swinging a chopper out to shortstop. Backhanded by Devin Goodwin. He throws across to first, and it's in time to get Casey Harther for the second out of the inning. At 7:05 in Lincoln, Nebraska, the Lincoln Salt Dogs host the Grand Prairie Airhogs 7:10. And U.S. Steel Yard in Gary, the Railcats take on the Kansas City T-Bones in a big matchup in the Central Division. And then at 7:30 in Laredo, Texas, the Lemurs take on the Amarillo Sox at Unitrade Stadium. 1-0 South, bases empty and 2 outs for Henry Wrigley. Bierman, the left-hander, gets the sign from Chris McMurray. And the pitch, breaking ball, and misses inside, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Outfield deep and a few steps to left. Wrigley, among the league leaders in home runs, tied for 3rd entering today with 14. Swing and a miss at a changeup outside, and the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Henry Wrigley, playing in the Tampa Bay Rays organization, drafted in the 14th round in 2005 out of the College of San Mateo. The 1-1 pitch, punched in the ground towards first, picked up by Ian Gack. Gack makes the flip to Bierman, gets to the bag, and plenty of time in this instance, and Sean Bierman has a 1-2-3, bottom half of the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on base. Will be joined in the next inning by Caitlin Laws, the Olympic gold medalist of the Jennifer Jones curling team. Coming up after this, 1-0 South on Jewel 101.
When's the last time your bank gave you a great big kiss when you walked through the door?
Excuse me?
That's what they do at Sonova Credit Union. Their DOG, you know, Director of Greetings, is a St. Bernard who welcomes all members.
Wow, can he schedule appointments too?
No need. At Sonova, you don't need an appointment, ever. Drop by whenever works for you. Bank brighter with Sonova Credit Union at one of their 11 branches throughout Manitoba, with convenient 7-days-a-week service in Winnipeg.
Honey, where should I put this?
In the basement.
I don't think there's any room.
Sound familiar? If your home or garage has accumulated more than it can hold, let BFI Canada help. Rent a temporary bin from BFI for a day, a week, or longer. Too much stuff? Then call the Blue. Call BFI Canada to schedule your delivery today. BFI Canada, a progressive waste solutions company.
It's summer. The perfect time to kick back and relax with friends and family. This summer, make it easy on yourself with catering by Chicken Delight. From a feast for a few to feeding your whole crew, Chicken Delight will put a smile on everyone's face with their famous chicken, fabulous pizza, ribs that rock, and more. Pick it up or have it delivered. Give us a call or send us your catering order at chickendelight.com.
So don't cook tonight. Tonight, all right. Call Chicken Delight.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball on Jewel 101.
1-0 in favor of the South. They're getting to the top of the 5th inning here in the 2014 American Association All-Star Game presented by Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries. New pitcher is in the ball game for the North Division. Carl Gellin on the longtime ace of the Quebec Capitals, the 5-time defending Can-Am League champions. He will take over for the right-hander Matt Rush, who gave up the home run in the top half of the 4th inning. So the right-hander on the mound, Carl Gellin, a 5-5 this year in 13 starts, a 3.87 ERA. 83 and 2/3 innings, 90 hits allowed, 11 walks, 67 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .279 against the righty Carl Jelena. Pitching changes brought to you by Johnson Waste Management. Call 452-0909. We're very honored to be joined by a special guest right now, Caitlin Laws of the Jennifer Jones curling team, who won the gold medal in the Olympics just a few months ago. Caitlin, very happy to have you on board here. First off, congratulations, obviously, on winning the gold, and just appreciate you having you on board here for a few innings.
Thank you so much for having me.
Ryan Corey will, Chris McMurray, excuse me, will lead things off here for the American Association South in the top of the fifth. The fly to center field is first time up, and the first pitch from Carl Jelena, a fastball on the outside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. So the first question we'll ask you, just what was the feeling like when you got up on the podium and you guys received those gold medals? They play the national anthem. I have to imagine that's got to be one of the greatest moments for anyone.
It really is. I mean, you dream of that moment, and you see athletes in the Olympics live out their dreams, and I only wish that one day I could have that experience. And being on the podium and having that medal placed around our neck and seeing the Canada flag raise up, I belted out "Oh Canada" at the top of my lungs, and tears strolled down my face. It was very emotional. It kind of just brought back all the hard work, all the sacrifices that we put into it, and you kind of feel every emotion. So it was a dream come true.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Chris McMurray of the Wichita Wingnuts. We're joined by Caitlin Laws, Olympic gold medalist and part of the Jennifer Jones curling team that won it all in Sochi just a few months ago. Here's the 1-2 on the way, and it's a fastball inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. McMurray will be followed by Ryan Corey and Nick Van Straten for the South, leading 1-0 here in the top half of the 5th inning. Carl Jelena gets the side from his catcher, Luis Allen. And the 2-2 pitch. Slider hit on the ground towards right. It's picked up by Danny Pulfer. Will throw to first in time to get Chris McMurray for the first out here in the top half of the 5th inning. Was there a point where, whether it was in the Olympics or even during the long months and years of preparation, where you really felt like you could finish this off, or was it kind of tension and nerves up until the final moments?
You know what, it's interesting thinking about it, because we're just so thankful that we had the opportunity to play, and we love just to compete, and we try and stay in the moment the whole time that we're doing that, and we just kind of loved the ride that we were on, and it didn't really feel like there was a ton of pressure. It was more so just we didn't want it to end.
First pitch on the way to Ryan Corey, a fastball taken on the outside half for a strike, and it's 0-1. Again, we're joined by Caitlin Laws of the Olympic gold medal curling team from just a few months ago in the 2014 Winter Olympics. Ryan Corey's been on base twice tonight with a single and a walk, and he takes a fastball down low. It's now 1 ball and 1 strike. I know the entire team, you had the opportunity to come out at Shaw Park just a few weeks ago and throw out the first pitch as a team. You actually got to do it again earlier today. Kind of a cool moment here in your hometown.
Yeah, it's really special to be able to celebrate with Winnipeg, and everyone here has been so welcoming and just so appreciative of everything that we've accomplished. So we can't thank Winnipeg enough. Everyone's given us so much support, and it's such a great community to be a part of.
Ryan Corey, it's a foul ball towards the left field side that reaches the stands, and it's now 1-2. Bases empty, 1 out, top half of the 5th in the 2014 American Association All-Star Game. The South leading the North right now by a score of 1-0. Carl Jelena goes to the windup. And the 1-2 pitch to Corey. Fastball, strike 3 called in the outside corner. And there's 2 away. So Carl Jelena locks up Ryan Corey. Tell us about the experience out in Russia going out there. I mean, that's got to be just as great of an experience as the actual competition. You get to see new country, places you haven't probably seen before.
Going to Russia, that was the first time we had been there, but we really didn't get to experience a lot of the culture. We stayed right in the Olympic bubble, and what they created was so amazing. There's never been an Olympics like it, where they basically built an Olympic city. So we are surrounded by a lot of the other venues, and we got to take in a lot of the other sports and really be a part of that big Olympic team, because usually we just travel with 4 people, but there we had 220 other teammates, so it was pretty special.
Nick Van Straten takes a pitch outside from Carl Jelena. It's 1-0. Van Straten 1 for 2 in the game with an infield single. He swings and lines one towards right. Drew Martinez back into his left, makes the catch, and that will retire the side here in the top half of the 5th inning. More with Caitlin Laws of the Olympic gold medal winning curling team from a few months ago in Sochi. We'll take a break and come back with the bottom of the 5th in the American Association All-Star Game here in Jewel 101.
It's a quiet evening at the lake. You can hear the birds singing before bed. The gentle waves. It doesn't get any better than this. Unless you add Archangel Fireworks to your night. Having a birthday? Amp it up with fireworks. Family reunion? Nothing says we missed you like a crackling peony exploding in the sky. Typical Wednesday? You guessed it. You need Archangel Fireworks. 104 Pembina Highway.
The only thing better than taking in a Goldeyes game is taking to the water. Now you have a chance to breeze across the lake in your very own Alumacraft boat. At select Goldeyes home games, swing by the promenade before the game and enter to win a V16 Series Alumacraft boat complete with a trailer and a 25 horsepower motor, courtesy of Alumacraft and the Winnipeg Goldeyes. The winner will be drawn during the last series of the regular season. Can't wait? Purchase your Alumacraft boat at Goodwin Marine in Winnipeg.
Cheers to the NSA slow pitch team whose uniforms are not uniform at all. Cheers to the times where more prep goes into playing after the game than playing in it. Cheers to the team who carries the cooler to the bench first and then maybe goes back to the van for the bats, balls, and gloves. Cheers from the Bud family, Budweiser, Bud Light, and Bud Light Lime. Proud sponsors of your Winnipeg Goldeyes and every NSA slow pitch team in Winnipeg. Go get 'em!
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball on Jewel 101.
Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball is brought to you by MTS. Get unlimited internet in Manitoba on all your devices only with MTS. New pitcher in the ball game for the American Association South, lefty Mike Antonini, representing the Can-Am League's New Jersey Jackals, will take over for another Can-Am League left-hander, Sean Bierman. David Espinosa, the Wichita Wingnuts, by the way, is coming to play right field, taking over for Brent Cleveland. The left-hander, Mike Antonini, 7-1 this year for the Jackals, 13 starts, a 3.04 ERA, 77 innings, 70 hits, 14 walks, 78 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .241 against Mike Antonini, and he'll face Ronnie Berkwin, Evan Bigley, and Luis Allen, 5, 6, and 7 in the bottom of the fifth. The South leading by a score of 1-0 in the first pitch. Fastball outside, 1-0. We're still joined by Olympic gold medalist Kaylin Laws of the Jennifer Jones curling team. And you're here representing Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries, and you're doing great work for them as the next pitch is taken outside and low. 2 balls and no strikes. You're a member of their impact team as an ambassador for youth sports. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that role and what you're doing here in the city of Winnipeg?
It's been a great to be a part of the impact team with Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries. We're so fortunate to be able to be ambassadors for them on their behalf in the community and kind of portray what they do in our community here in Manitoba. They sponsor so many different events, festivals, you name it. They're there giving back to Winnipeg and Manitoba, and I'm just so happy to be able to give back to the community that I grew up in.
Evan Bigley at the plate. Ronnie Berkwin grounds out to shortstop. It's 1 out and nobody on here in the bottom half of the fifth inning, joined by Caitlin Laws, representing Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries, the presenting sponsor for the 2014 American Association All-Star Game. And Caitlin, of course, a member of the gold medal winning curling team back in the Olympics just a few months ago. Evan Bigley 0 for 1, a fly to right field, his first time up, a right-hand batter. Antonini winds in the first pitch, curveball taken outside, 1 ball on the outside corner, pardon me. And the count is 0-1. From what I understand, the role that you're working in, you focus a little bit on the youth sports and getting kids involved in sports.
It's something that I really take pride in, and I really do feel that being able to encourage young kids and to get into sport is important for me. And at the same time, we're there to help inspire any age group, whether just telling our story and our hard work and something that we've got to do in our lives. We hope that one day can inspire someone to chase their dreams, whether it be in their education or in sport or in music and art. It doesn't matter what it is. We just want to be able to help share our story and know that we've gone through some hard times and we have a tough journey to get to where we are, but it's just our way of being able to give back.
1-2 the count on Evan Bigley. Goldeyes catcher Luis Allen waits on deck. Bases empty and 1 down. Antonini delivers, swinging a foul tip off the mid of Chris McMurray. And the count is still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Evan Bigley, the Saints playing center field tonight. Is there extra pride? Obviously, it's great pride just winning for Canada, but given the fact that you're from Winnipeg, is there extra pride doing the work that you're doing for Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries to kind of represent the city that your team is from as well?
Absolutely. I'm so honored, and it's such a privilege to be able to be in the community here in Winnipeg and have people come up to me and be able to share our medal and my story with them. And just there's been so many people that have said, wow, like, I'm so inspired by what you have done for Winnipeg, and they're just so proud of our team. So just being able to be in the community and share our stories with them, and even being able to hear the stories of people watching us too. I mean, they have shared stories about watching our gold medal game and where they were, and they remember that, and people have gotten really emotional about it. So it's amazing to know that we have that connection with people.
Evan Bigley retired on a fly out to center field, caught by Nick Van Stratton. That'll bring up Luis Allen. Well, once again, a nice round of applause from the home crowd here at Shaw Park. It looks like that'll do it for the left-hander Mike Antonini. Kevin Hooper, the South All-Stars manager, will go out and I'll call upon Chris Regis, the lefty from the Kansas City T-Bones. Kalen, before we let you go, I just want to ask you one more question about getting that gold medal. I mean, you showed it to me just a few minutes ago, an impressive piece of hardware. Just looking at it or picking it up, I mean, what kind of emotions are going through your head? I mean, do you replay the final game, and what is it like when you just kind of look at the medal?
It's still surreal to me that piece of hardware is mine. We kind of joke that if they didn't give us the medal, we wouldn't actually believe that we got to do what we did. But just knowing that there's a story behind it, and everyone put in a lot of work and sacrifice, and just the time to achieve a goal, and the fact that we did it, it's a dream come true.
I told you, I've never curled before, but I'd like to learn this winter. What advice do you have for someone that's never tried the sport before?
It's slippery out there. Be careful. And take the time to line yourself up and work on your balance, and you'll be a good curler.
All right, Caitlin, thanks so much. Congratulations again. All the best to you and the team here moving forward, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the All-Star game.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
All right, Caitlin Laws, Olympic gold medalist. We'll take a break here. It's the bottom of the fifth, 2 outs and nobody on, and the South leading 1-0 in the American Association All-Star game on Jewel 101.
Hi, this is Ivan Saper, owner of Saper Agencies. We offer personal, business, automobile, and travel health insurance. But it's how we sell that makes us different. We strive to remain on the cutting edge of technology and product innovations. We promise you quick, efficient, and effective solutions and 100% satisfaction. See us today, and we'll find you the right solution at the right price. Remember, your best insurance policy is our experience.
Saper Agencies, 2188 McPhillips. Call 694-6787.
I'm off to the UPS store.
We don't need anything shipped.
Well, I'm getting our office printing and brochures made up, and I need some name badges and these pages laminated for our training class tomorrow.
At the UPS store?
Yeah, they do everything.
No, really, what are you shipping?
Copy, print, ship, and more at the UPS store. With their digital and wide format printing services, as well as in-house graphic design services, they've got all your business needs covered. Big or small, they do it all at the UPS store.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball on Jewel 101.
Chris Regis now in the ball game for the American Association South. Throws a fastball high and outside of Luis Allen, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. The South leading by a score of 1-0. Regis, the closer of the Kansas City T-Bones. Allen swings and lifts one in the air towards the right field side. Ian Gack in foul ground reaching, and that's going to land into the second row of seats. So it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Watching Ian Gack run down the right field line like that and having an opportunity maybe to reach over into the stands. That ball's a little bit too far back for him to do that, but shades of what happened. If you remember when the Salt Dogs were in town at the very beginning of the season in late May, there was a play in a foul ball in which a fan in the first row of seats was able to steal a potential out from Ian Gack, who was reaching over. Allen checks a swing, takes a changeup high and outside. It's now 2 balls and 1 strike. And that ball is over the side fence. There is no chance for fan interference, and the fan has every right to try and make a play on that ball himself, and he literally scooped it out of Ian Gack's glove. Jake Blackwood was the batter at the time. Here's the pitch. Fastball missing in, and it's now 3 balls and a strike. Very special thanks to Caitlin Laws, Olympic gold medalist curler, joining us over the last couple of innings and representing Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries and their impact team as an ambassador. Congratulations to Caitlin and the rest of Jennifer Jones' curling team. And fastball taken on the outside corner. It's now 3 balls and 2 strikes. And to Caitlin for spending some time with us here at such a great event, the 2014 American Association All-Star Game. Right now the South Division leading by a score of 1-0. Devin Goodwin, the South, had a solo shot leading off the top of the 4th. 2 outs and nobody on. And the 3-2 from Regis. Popped him up behind the plate in a foul territory. McMurray with a mask off, waiting for it to come down. McMurray reaches and he makes the catch. And the side is retired. No runs, no hits in, no one left on base for the North. End of 5 innings at Shaw Park. It is 1-0 South on Jewel 101.
We all love to save. Save time, save gas, save space. And what gives you the biggest smile is when you save money. But will your money save itself? Don't bank on it. Count on Steinbach Credit Union instead. With great savings rates that start paying interest from $1 and a wide range of GICs that make saving even easier, you'll be smiling from year to year. Want to save? Talk to SCU, because we're taking care of the world's most important money, yours.
The rebates are back! The rebates are back!
What?
The rebates from Reliance Superior Heating and Air Conditioning are back, and I'm not missing out on the great savings this year!
The rebates from Reliance are back by popular demand. Right now, when you buy a high-efficiency Lennox furnace and air conditioner from Reliance, you get $2,000 back in rebates. Call Reliance Superior Heating and Air Conditioning now at 204-697-5666 or hurry over to RelianceSuperior.ca today. Some conditions apply.
You had a long night, and you're hardly awake. You need breakfast, but it's 11 o'clock. Does that even matter? Why eat somewhere that tells you you can't have what you want when you want it? Just go to Robin's anytime for their Breckwich, made with everything you want, like egg, tantalizing ham, perfect bacon, delicious sausage, and of course melt-in-your-mouth cheese that you can enjoy on a croissant bun, wrap, or bagel. Served all day.
Only from your hometown hero, Robin's. Fast, fresh, and friendly.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball on Jewel 101.
Help support the Winnipeg Goldeyes Field of Dreams Foundation with a K's for Kids program. All you have to do is pledge an amount and you will donate towards the Field of Dreams Foundation every time a Goldeyes pitcher records a home strikeout during the 2014 season. You can fill out a pledge form at Goldeyes.com or at the Fan Services booth at Shaw Park. At the end of the season, we'll add up all the Goldeyes strikeouts, and the Field of Dreams Foundation will send you an invoice, or if you wish, we can charge your credit card for the amount pledged. For more information about the K's for Kids program, visit Goldeyes.com. Top of the 6th in the 2014 American Association All-Star Game presented by Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries. The North will be setting up 3, 4, and 5. David Espinoza now in the ball game for the American Association North. Espinoza took over for his teammate Brent Cleveland on defense in the last inning. He's a switch hitter and will bat right-handed against the new pitcher, swinging a deep drive towards the left field line. Going back, and the ball is Webb, and this ball is gone! David Espinoza hammers a line drive homer down the left field line, and the South takes a 2-0 lead in the top half of the 6th inning. So on the first pitch he sees in the All-Star game from new left-hander Jake Labor, Espinoza crushes it down the left field line. The only question, fair or foul, and third base umpire Bobby Feaster pointed to his right. So Espinoza, who actually made the All-Star team as a member of the Kansas City T-Bones, but was later traded to the Wichita Wingnuts just a couple of weeks ago. Coming off the bench, delivers a solo shot, and the South is now at 2 home runs in this ball game, and both have come to lead off an inning. Jake Labor of the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks now on the mound for the American Association North. Pitching change brought to you by Johnson Waste Management. Call 452-0909. The first pitch on the way to Ian Gack. Fastball catches the outside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. Labor 14 starts this year, 6-7 with a 4.55 ERA. The lefty deals in the 0-1 pitch. Changeup down low. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. 83 innings of work, 103 hits allowed, 21 walks. He has struck out 56. Opponents hitting .309 against Jake Labor. A longtime member of the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks. His 6th overall year with the franchise. Fastball taken high and inside. It's now 2-1. Great person off the field as well, and one of the smarter players you will come across in the American Association. Has a background in finance and accounting. The lefty winds in the 2-1 pitch. Slider taken low and inside. 3-1 at Ian Gack, who is 0 for 2 in this game with a fly out to center and a ground out to third base. Labor taking over for Carl Jelena of the Quebec Capitals. He threw a scoreless 5th. Here's a 3-1 pitch. On the outside corner with a fastball. It's now 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the South. No runs, no hits, and no errors for the North. Labor has the sign. Craig Maddox now catching. Swinging a ground ball towards third. It's a tough hop fielded by Ronnie Berkman. Throws across the diamond in time to get Ian Gack. And there's 1 away here in the top half of the 6th. Tough hop there. Ronnie Berkwin stayed with it, playing it to his side. So Craig Maddox now in the ball game behind the plate, taking over for the Goldeyes catcher Luis Allen. Maddox will catch the final 4 innings. That'll be the only reserve for the North Division All-Stars. The other, Zach Mitchell, he was going to be the starting second baseman. Unfortunately, Mitchell will have to sit out of the All-Star festivities due to an injury. Mitchell, though, is here in uniform with his teammates from the Railcats. First pitch on the way to Devin Goodwin is a fastball taken low, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Now Maddox behind the plate, who put on a show in the home run derby last night, the 1-0, and that fastball taken at the knees for a strike, 1-1. Goodwin has had the best game so far, 2 hits, both for extra bases, a double to right in the second and a solo homer to right field that led off the top of the 4th. A right-hand batter, the pitch by Labor. It's a changeup low and in. Now 2 balls and 1 strike. Solo shots in this game from Devin Goodwin and David Espinoza in this inning. Here's the 2-1 from Labor. Fastball on the inside corner at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tonight's trivia question is brought to you by the Place Louis Riel Suite Hotel in downtown Winnipeg. Place Louis Riel, specializing in spacious executive suites. Here's the 2-2 pitch, swinging a grounder up the middle, moving in front Tyler Kuhn. High hoppy, backhands, throw to first in time to get Devin Goodwin. 2 men down here at the top of the 6th inning. Tonight's question, the last time the American Association had an All-Star game, 2010 at Lawrence Dumont Stadium in Wichita, Kansas. The South Division All-Stars beat the North 12-3 that night, July 27th of 2010. Who was the 2010 American Association's All-Star Game MVP? Carlo Testa, left-hand batter, steps in, swings and misses at a breaking ball outside, 0-1. Call the Jewel 101 studio at 204-943-5250 with your answer for a chance to win a pair of tickets to an upcoming Goldeyes game. We'll have the correct answer later tonight. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball catches the outside corner, and it's 0-2. South with a 2-0 lead over the North in the top half of the 6th. Carlo Testa 0 for 2 in the game. A line out that was caught by Evan Bigley in the 2nd, and he was struck out swinging in the 4th. Breaking ball taken low and outside. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Carlo Testa last year playing for the Traverse City Beach Bums in the Independent Frontier League. He's a former teammate of Brandon Lafferty, the Goldeyes second-year lefty reliever. Swinging a foul straight back. And it's still 1-2 on Carlo Testa. Testa and Lafferty 2 years ago played for the Northwest Arkansas Naturals, the Kansas City Royals Texas League AA affiliate. Testa an 18th rounder by Kansas City in 2008. Fastball high and tight, and Testa leans back. It's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Testa, a career .282 hitter, now in his 7th year of professional baseball. He played his college ball at Belmont University, the same alma mater of Zach Mitchell, who again was going to be the starting second baseman for the North. Another 2-2 pitch, breaking ball outside and low, and now 3 ball and 2 strike count on the South Division's left fielder. And the Wichita Wingnuts left fielder, Carlo Testa, big guy, wears number 44. Testa checking in at 6'4", 230 pounds, but he's fairly mobile, and he's been among the league leaders this year in stolen bases. 3-2 pitch, hit foul the other way, stayed back in a breaking ball, and it's still 3 balls and 2 strikes. Carlo Testa with 18 stolen bases on the year. He's only been caught 4 times. Battling here against a very good lefty and Jake Labor. Labor works off the third base side of the rubber. And the pitch, line drive to left, that's in for a base hit. So on the 8th pitch of the at-bat, Carlo Testa lines a single the other way, a 2-out hit. And that'll bring up Jake Cahalileo, the second baseman of the Wichita Wingnuts. Jake Labor in his 6th year with the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks. He first joined him in 2008. He's originally from Fargo, North Dakota, and he even played his college baseball at North Dakota State University, which shares their facility, Newman Outdoor Field, with the Redhawks. One of the better stadiums and playing surfaces in the American Association, and before in the Northern League. First pitch to Cahalileo, high fly ball to center field, deep but playable for Evan Bigley, moving to his left. Bigley is under it, makes the catch, and the side is retired. The South gets 1 run. There were 2 hits and 1 left on base. Middle of the 6th inning at Shaw Park. It's 2-0 South All-Stars on Jewel 101.
The Winnipeg Goldeyes make dreams come true by providing live baseball experiences to charities, nonprofit groups, and inner-city programs. Now with the Goldeyes Community Zone, even more memories are available to be made. For group tickets, contact the Goldeyes at 982-BASE. These seats are made possible through generous donations from the Community Zone partners. So from the Winnipeg Goldeyes and Community Zone recipients, thank you Boston Pizza, Great West Life Assurance Company, Imperial Parking Corporation, Dairy Farmers of Manitoba, Investors Group, and Reliance Superior.
Support your own, the Goldeyes. And Fort Garry Brewing. Located right here in Winnipeg, Fort Garry Brewing is Manitoba's #1 brewery, crafting a full spectrum of delicious beers and ales, including the award-winning Fort Garry Dark and the fan-favorite Fort Garry Pale, both of which are available at Shaw Park, so cheer on the home team. Fort Garry Brewing, Manitoba made, Manitoba's own.
Most days, you can predict what life's gonna throw at you.
He's 2 for 2 at bat so far today.
But every once in a while...
Strike! Oh, he did not see that coming.
When life throws you a curveball, Ranger Insurance will protect what's important to you. Whether it's home, life, auto, or commercial, they have a plan that fits your needs. Ranger Insurance, putting relationships first. For the protection you deserve, visit rangerinsurance.ca.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball on Jewel 101.
Trades and transactions are brought to you by Prairie Safety Servicing. Bounces like rubber, wears like a rock. Prairie Safety Servicing, your authorized rubber rock dealer for Manitoba. Visit them at prairiesafetyservicing.com. One transaction on the docket today. The Amarillo Suns let go of right-hand pitcher Adam Matson. Yesterday, the St. Paul Saints parted ways with Robert Coe, a guy who was the American Association's Rookie of the Year in 2012. Coe had an up-and-down year in 2014, and Coe has been released by the Saints. The Winnipeg Goldeyes also made a move. They have let go of right-handed pitcher Cephas Howard. Bottom of the 6th at Shaw Park, Chris Regis, who got the final out. In the bottom half of the 5th inning, he will begin the 6th. Drew Martinez, Donnie Webb, and Danny Pulfer, the scheduled batters, 8, 9, and 1. Martinez 0 for 1 in the game. He grounds it out to Ian Gack at first base. His first time up in the next half inning will be joined by Hall of Fame pitcher and Canadian native Fergie Jenkins. Here's the first pitch on the way from Regis. Breaking ball stays high, and it's 1 ball and 0 strikes. Chris Regis has been around this league for quite some time. He shares the American Association's single-season saves record. 30 saves, did it in 2008 with the Sioux Falls Canaries. Swing and a miss at a high fastball, 1-1. At the time, it set the record, and then it was matched by Chris Thompson, who had 30 saves the following year between the Lincoln Salt Dogs and the El Paso Diablos. The common thread, the Canaries in 08 and the Salt Dogs in 09, with those two great closers, would go on to win the championship. 1-1 pitch. Fastball high and in. It's now 2 balls and a strike. What's really impressive, no one has come close to touching 30 saves since that 2009 season. A feat that happened in back-to-back years, but no one's really come close since then. The pitch, fastball just outside, 3-1. Drew Martinez, Regis in his 12th year of professional baseball. Predominantly a reliever, a 3.66 ERA, and 68 lifetime saves, including 14 this year with Kansas City. The 3-1 pitch. Swinging a ground ball to the right side, backhanded by Gack. He turns, flips high to Regis. He's got it, steps in the bag, and avoids the collision with Drew Martinez. Gack made a bit of a high flip, but Regis, who is 34 years of age, showing off some athleticism, jumped a little bit off the ground, grabbed that ball high, and crossed over first base. And Drew Martinez, again, good job by him to let him just a bit to avoid a collision here in the All-Star game. So the spring training play has now been executed 3 times by the the South Division defense. Twice with Drew Martinez at the plate, and again and Tyler Kuhn. So here's Donnie Webb, who will get turned around. He'll bat right-handed, the switch hitter, against the lefty Chris Regis. Here's the first pitch. Fastball on the outside corner, and it's no balls and 1 strike. There are actually 3 people in the building who have played in previous American Association All-Star games, even though this is the first time the event has happened in 4 years. The 0-1, Webb drives it a deep center field, going back, Van Stratton still going back onto the track, reaches, and he can't get it. It's off the bottom of the wall. Webb heading for second, and Webb gets there standing up. The first hit of the ball game for the American Association North. Donnie Webb drives a double over the head of Nick Van Stratton in center. And a runner on second, one man down. Back to the top for Danny Pulfer, who will now represent the tying run.
Number 22, Danny Pulfer.
Kevin Hooper, the manager of the Wichita Wingnuts, played in this league in 2008. He won the batting title. As a member of Wichita, their starting shortstop, and he played in the All-Star game that year in St. Paul at Midway Stadium, collected 2 hits. David Espinoza of Wichita, but also of Lincoln, Grand Prairie, and Kansas City during his time in the league, has played in 2 other American Association All-Star games. Danny Pulfer, right-hand batter, 0 for 2. Regas delivers. Fastball low and inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Espinoza's first year in the league, played at that same game at Midway Stadium, 2008. And then in 2010, he would represent the Airhogs in Wichita, Kansas at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Pulfer hits it foul off to the right side. 1 ball and 1 strike. Chris Regas is pitching in his 3rd American Association All-Star game. He represented the Sioux Falls Canaries in 2007, and that was in his hometown. Playing for the Sioux Falls Canaries that year. The Sioux Falls Canaries hosted the All-Star game at Sioux Falls Stadium, and then Regas would play again in 2008 in St. Paul. Breaking ball taken high and outside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Other notable players with connections either to the leagues involved or to the Winnipeg Goldeyes that have played in past American Association All-Star games. Reggie Abercrombie started in 2010 as a member of the Sioux Falls Pheasants in the game in Wichita. The 2-1. Pulfer drives it in the air to right field. Going back in the ball, Espinoza still going back. Reaches, makes the catch. Tagging at second is Donnie Webb. He'll make his way to third without a relay from Jake Cahalileo. Good opposite field swing by Danny Pulfer. David Espinoza can play just about anywhere on the diamond. Able to retreat and make the catch. Now there's 2 outs and a runner on third base. And Tyler Kuhn stepping to the plate again. Will be joined by Fergie Jenkins, Baseball Hall of Famer and Canadian native. In the next half inning, 2-0 South here in the bottom half of the 6th. Jeff Blitzstein, a former Winnipeg Goldeye, appeared in the 2006 All-Star game. That was in El Paso, and that was actually the American Association against the Can-Am League that year. Blitzstein that season pitched for the Lincoln Salt Dogs. First pitch to Tyler Kuhn. Fastball high and away. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Kuhn trying to drive in his teammate Donnie Webb from third base with 2 men down. Kuhn representing the tying run. He's got 4 homers this year for the Goldeyes, and they've all come within the last month. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball low and away. Vince DeFazio now catching for the South. Popped out of the crouch, thought about throwing behind Donnie Webb over at third. So the count is now 1 ball and 1 strike in Tyler Kuhn. A career .322 hitter against left-hand pitching. Regas with a 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball hit on the ground on the right side, a foul ball. And it's now 1-2 on Tyler Kuhn of the Winnipeg Goldeyes. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the South, no runs, 1 hit, and no errors for the North. Isaac Pavlik, the longtime member of the New Jersey Jackals, the Goldeyes saw earlier this season when they played the Can-Am League. He represented the Jackals in that 06 All-Star game in El Paso. 1-2 pitch, broken bat looper the other way, tough play, reaching down to Avesy Field, snaps a throw to first, and it's just in time to get Tyler Kuhn. The inning is over. No runs, 1 inning, and 1 left on base. Through 6 at Shaw Park. The South leads the North 2-0 on Jewel 101.
Water cooler's out.
Never fear! As a powerful elemental, I shall conjure forth a refreshing aquatic spring to quench our thirst. Just, give it a minute.
Clean, great-tasting drinking water isn't magic. It's Culligan. Culligan Water has been serving Winnipeg and surrounding areas for 58 years. As a member of the CBWA, you can count on their highly trained staff to deliver the best possible water treatment products and services, drinking water systems, and bottled water. Culligan Water. Better water. Pure and simple.
Princess Auto is for the real men. Men who like to get their hands dirty. Men who like to work from the ground up and use the best tools and equipment for the job. Real do-it-yourself men who know an air filter from a fuel pump. Men who walk into Princess Auto and feel like a kid in a candy store. Princess Auto. Everything a man needs to get the job done right. A unique world of equipment, tools, and more. Visit PrincessAuto.com for sales, specials, and more.
What should we bring to the lake for dinner tonight?
Something easy that we can throw in the cooler.
Turkey.
Granny's Poultry introduces their seasoned boneless turkey breast.
Sounds good.
Really good.
Pick up a Granny's frozen seasoned boneless turkey breast from your neighborhood grocery store. Throw it in the cooler, and by the time you get to the lake, it's barbecue ready. Granny's Poultry, your local poultry farmer's own cooperative. To find a retailer or for simply delicious recipes, visit grannys.ca. Granny's, good-natured.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball on Jewel 101.
Top of the 7th inning here at Shaw Park. The Winnipeg Goldeyes hosting the 2014 American Association All-Star Game presented by Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries. New pitcher in for the North, righty Kyle Vasquez of the Sioux Falls Canaries. He will take over. Vasquez on the season, 12 starts, 5-5 with a 3.86 ERA. 70 innings, 71 hits, 23 walks, 43 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .264. Pitching changes brought to you by Johnson Waste Management. Call 452-0909. Well, we continue with the line of just great guests that we've had on board earlier. We spoke with Olympic gold medalist Caitlin Laws, and now we're honored to have Baseball Hall of Famer, Canadian native Fergie Jenkins on the air with us here in the top of the 7th. The South leading the North by a score of 2-0. I know it's been a busy day for you, so we really appreciate you coming out and spending a couple of innings with us. But Fergie, a native of Ontario, Canada, and one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball history. Just kind of tell us about how you were approached to come out here to Winnipeg. I had a great speech earlier today at the Fairmont Hotel, and you've been a big part of the celebrations here the last couple of days.
Well, my new agent, as it's called, Greg Nyman, he lives in Hamilton, Ontario, got a hold of me about 3 months ago and asked me, the independent baseball are having their all-star competition here in Winnipeg, and they need a speaker. And I said, when? And they said, well, it's going to be the end of July. I said, well, the end of July is the induction of the Hall of Fame, the last 5-6 days. So I'm going to be in New York. So no, it's going to be the 28th. You fly out after. I said, oh, hey, no problem. Should be able to do it. So I end up putting it on my schedule and putting it in my day book, and here I am.
Outstanding. We're certainly glad to have you. Again, we're joined by Baseball Hall of Famer and a native of Chatham, Ontario, Fergie Jenkins. Abel Nieves leads off the top of the 7th with a single up the middle, and that'll bring up Vince DeFazio, who took over for Chris McMurray behind the plate in the last inning. Vasquez from the stretch in the first pitch, a fastball on the outside half of the knees. And the count is 0-0. We'll ask about your Hall of Fame career as a pitcher, playing for several different teams, most notably with the Chicago Cubs on a couple of occasions. What was it like, obviously, pitching for almost 2 decades there in Major League Baseball and facing some of the best hitters, kind of the golden age there of Major League Baseball?
Yeah, definitely. Guys like Mays and Aaron, Clemente, Cepeda. There was so many really good ball players in the National League. Pete Rose, the all-time hit leader, from Joe Morgan and Tony Perez. Tony Perez was a tough out for me a lot of times. Willie McCovey was dangerous, hitting the ball up the middle a lot. And Willie Stargell. There were some excellent hitters in the National League back then in the 60s and 70s. So you had to basically do your homework trying to get these guys out.
1-2 the count on Vince DeFazio with Abel Nieves on first base and nobody out. Vasquez from the stretch and the pitch. Breaking ball outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. You told a great story. I'd like you to tell it again about Willie McCovey. You mentioned one of the all-time greats. You mentioned it at the Fairmont Hotel during the luncheon today, but if you could just kind of let us know about the limousine story with Willie McCovey.
Well, they only had 3 teams in Arizona. The Cubs, San Francisco, and Oakland. And Willie McCovey is just tearing the cover off the ball. It doesn't matter, right or left-handed pitchers. So he's doing the same to me until I learned how to pitch to him. He beat me in San Francisco, and I was dueling Juan Marichal. Came back into Chicago, beat me again. And then we have to go back out to face the Western. We faced him 3 times in that 2-division series. And we get a call at the hotel, and Ernie and I are roommates, and we're just getting settled in, waiting for our luggage to get sent to the room. And the concierge from downstairs phones and said, there's a car for somebody there. And I asked Ernie, you ordered a car? He said, no, find out what it's all about. He says, concierge says, yeah, the car's for Mr. Jenkins. Mr. McCovey wants to make sure he gets to the ballpark safe and on time. So, Cadillac limo, a bunch of us piled in and went out to the park. I told myself, I said, I'm going to try to get even. So I told Randy Hundley, our catcher, tell him what's coming when he comes to the plate. First up, threw a fastball. Randy says, fastball. And Willie took it. Boom. Strike 1. Next time, threw a slider. And he hits a high pop-up in the infield, got him out the first time. He goes 0 for 3. And I said, that's how you get him out. Tell him what's coming.
And you were inside his dome for the rest of the game.
Oh, yeah, I had him. The rest of the season, I had him.
2-2 the count here, and Vince DeFazio, the Grand Prairie Airhawks. His teammate Abel Nieves is on first. We're honored to be joined by Baseball Hall of Famer and Canadian native Fergie Jenkins. The South leading the North 2-0. Bounce around to short, backhanded by Kuhn, goes to second for one. Pulled for the first, dugout by Harther for the double play. And there's 2 men down. Nice turn there at second base.
Definitely, that's what a pitcher wants at least 5 times a game, especially if you give up some singles or even walks. And that double play is the thing that gets you out of trouble.
You talked about some of the great hitters that you faced and ones that you had success against and ones that kind of gave you fits. Were there any pitchers, there are obviously a lot of great ones that maybe you matched up several times that you just really enjoyed going against that guy head-to-head?
Well, in our division, the Cubs faced the Cardinals a lot. I faced Bob Gibson quite a few times. Similar Tom Seaver with the Mets. Also, the Philadelphia Phillies. I got Steve Carlton after he got traded from St. Louis. In the American League, I'd probably Fidrich from time to time. Jim Palmer. I mean, some guys were tough competitors, and I mean, you couldn't give up a lot of runs because they're not giving up runs. Stottlemyre with the Yankees. So, I mean, when you went out there, the battle was not to get them give up a lot of runs to certain ball clubs because the pitcher you were facing wasn't going to give up a lot of runs. You know, I got in that I think a shutout series when Drysdale had his 54 innings.
Wow!
I got him twice. He beat me twice, 1-0. Then I got Gibson in a shutout streak, and then Seaver. 1968, I got shut out 9 times, 5 times, 1-0. So it's unpleasant, you know, especially if your team can't score runs. So
Ryan Corey takes a breaking ball down low, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fergie Jenkins, Baseball Hall of Famer and Ontario native, joining us here in the top of the 7th, the American Association All-Star Game. The South leading the North by a score of 2-0. Corey's had a good night, 1 for 2 with a walk, a single, and he has also taken a called third strike. Facing Kyle Vasquez, the right-hander of the Sioux Falls Canaries. Here's the 2-2. He swings and he pops one up in a foul ground beyond the plate. Maddox sheds the mask, and that'll reach the crowd. It's still 2-2. Today in Major League Baseball, even at the minor league level and even at the independent ranks, teams like the Winnipeg Goldeyes, there's so much information out there that teams can use and players and pitchers can use to get ready. Back when you were playing, there wasn't all the video, there weren't all the scouting reports, at least to the level that they have now. There weren't all the wild statistics that teams are using. As Corey takes one outside, a low, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So what did you guys do to prepare? The pitching obviously was much better then than it was now. And you guys still had great success. There were great hitters out there. So how did you guys prepare from game to game?
Well, we had 4-man rotation, and we charted games just like you're doing now. The number one thing is you're on the bench looking to see who can hit what and where they hit it, what position on the field. So you just tried to monitor that type of situation. If the team brought a rookie up, hey, what does this guy hit? And you hope that you weren't pitching that day. Maybe you didn't know him. But the biggest thing is the tips the advanced scouts a lot of times would give the ball club, or just, as I said, sitting on the bench, you kibitz with a few guys and say, hey, what's Johnny Bench? What's the first pitch he swings at? Is he a first ball hitter? Reggie Jackson, is he a first ball hitter? Things like that. And it's good information to know because when you don't know it, you throw a ball right down the middle of the plate, and the guy rips a double off the wall, you're in trouble, especially with men in scoring position. So you have to know certain guys, how to set them up, how to try to get them out, because a lot of guys will get themselves out too. But, you know, the knowledge of knowing the hitter as well as the catcher does is something that you don't learn it overnight. So it's good to know.
Runner on first and 2 outs. Ryan Corey drew a walk. Nick Van Stratton slices one down the right field line. This ball will drop in just foul over towards the right field corner, and it's 0-2. Van Stratton in the ball game, 1 for 3 with an infield single. You talked about some of the hitters that gave you a tough time. Are there any hitters that maybe didn't have as much notoriety as, say, Willie McCovey or anyone along the lines of that maybe gave you a tough time over your career?
Well, you know, easier outs for me, the right-handed a lot of times. Joe Rudy didn't give me any problems. Steve Garvey. Reggie from time to time, but I used to tell people, I thought, oh, come on, Reg. All you're trying to do is take me deep. So I change speeds on him, make him swing at a slider in the dirt and get him out. But there were some guys that you gave more respect to than others. He had the bat, and they come to the plate, but I had the ball. And I'm not trying to make mistakes, minimize mistakes, and try to keep the score low so that my ball club, my team, has a chance to win. So, but it's a cat and mouse game from time to time.
It's a great segue into the next question. Nick Van Stratton just hit by a pitch. Has pitching inside become a lost art in Major League Baseball?
Yeah, I think it has in some respect because the umpire kind of protects the hitter. You throw in hard inside, and you get a warning, especially if it's up around the head. And then the next pitch you throw, it's inside, you're gone. You and the manager are gone. It's automatic. Total ejection.
David Espinoza retired on a fly ball to left. More with Baseball Hall of Famer Fergie Jenkins after this. It's 7th inning stretch time at Shaw Park, and the South leads the North by a score of 2-0 here on Jewel 101.
Luxury, convenience, comfort. Have it all with Premier Executive Suites. For business travelers who are always on the move, Premier Executive Suites is your home away from home. You can relax in your comfortable living room, grab a midnight snack in your complete kitchen, and do that last-minute load of laundry with your handy in-suite washer and dryer. Book your extended stay in Winnipeg with Premier Executive Suites. Visit premiersuites.com to make your booking today. Take more of your life with you with Premier Executive Suites.
This is Goldeyes Baseball on 100.7 CFJL, Jewel 101, Winnipeg.
I've always been active, but when I started putting on weight and feeling tired and even avoiding family activities, no one could tell me what was wrong. I was concerned. A friend suggested I see his chiropractor. She developed a plan that involved changes in what I was eating, lifestyle, exercise, and spinal health. Seeing me more active, the rest of my family have started their own plan. Thanks to my chiropractor for making my life better.
Manitoba Chiropractors, making life better.
Go to bostonpizza.com and finger cook a meal the whole family will love. Don't waste your precious time cooking when you don't have to. We know you've got more important things to do, like watching sports highlights, stopping your kids from bumping into stuff, or simply taking a break from napping. And with over 100 menu items to choose from, everyone can get exactly what they want. To order, call 925-4111 or finger cook today at bostonpizza.com.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball on Jewel 101.
2-0 South, bottom half of the 7th. Still here with Baseball Hall of Famer and Canadian native Fergie Jenkins. Right-hander Tyler Pearson of the Laredo Lemurs will take over for the South Division squad. Casey Harther, Henry Wrigley, and Ronnie Berkwin are the scheduled hitters for the North, 3, 4, and 5. Tyler Pearson having a great year for Laredo. Pearson on the year 6-4, 10 starts, 9 games in relief. A 3.26 ERA, 69 innings, 48 hits, 39 walks, 69 strikeouts. Opponents in even 200. During the luncheon today, someone asked a question about why do you think that pitchers tend to block their elbows and their arms a little bit more, and you brought up an interesting point that I'd never heard before. You thought that one of the contributing factors might be that the pitchers actually aren't pitching enough. And, you know, as you said before, when you pitched, you had a 4-man rotation. That's kind of a lost art. Although, actually, I don't know if you're aware, the Gary team actually uses a 4-man rotation. Just kind of elaborate on that and why the pitchers aren't pitching as much now and how that affects maybe some of the injuries.
Well, first of all, you got a pitch count, and you got a 5-man rotation. A lot of guys throw once a week when you're out there. And I think they're, in some cases, they try to throw that split finger a little too hard. Puts a little more pressure on their elbow along with the slider. The slider is not a snapping pitch, it's a pull pitch. So I think that you don't see them utilize throwing enough. Pitch count can hurt from time to time. And you got 13 or 14 pitchers on the staff. When I broke in, there was only 9. 4 starters, 5 in the bullpen. Now you have all the specialty part of the bullpen with 2 or 3 guys, left-handers mostly, and you have a couple of holders, a setup, and a closer. So these guys are sitting out in the bullpen. They don't throw enough, and all of a sudden, boom, they got to get in the ball game. A week or so later, oh, my elbow's tight. And the first thing they want to do, Tommy John. It happens. Or shoulder rotator cuff. And it's really too bad because some of these young men really have good arms. And to utilize their ability, you got to throw. You got to continue to throw, because that's the number 1 factor. That's your arm. I mean, it's going to carry you from one level to the next. And if you can get people out, people want to see that arm. So if you hurt it, you're on the DL. Unfortunately, you're not going anywhere.
Casey Harther takes a fastball fouled off to the right side of the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes in the Winnipeg Goldeyes first baseman, joined here by Baseball Hall of Famer Fergie Jenkins. And of course, a lot of pride for you being from Canada, getting to come here to the All-Star game in Winnipeg. And you talked about a couple of guys that you would like to see join you in the Hall of Fame someday. As Harther fouls it off to the right side, still a ball and 2 strikes. Larry Walker had a fantastic career, maybe the best Canadian hitter to ever play the game of Major League Baseball. And you talked about Joey Votto from the Cincinnati Reds in the middle of what is probably going to be a very good career as well.
Definitely. I think that Walker's got good numbers, home runs, a couple of batting titles. And he played in Colorado, but you still have to hit the ball regardless if light air or not. Joey Votto now with Cincinnati, I think is in his 5th year, won the Hank Aaron Award. And I mean, the guy won an MVP. I mean, he just put up some good numbers, and it's early in his career. And you just hope individuals like that don't get hurt over a long period of time. Keep putting the numbers up and be successful. And then you have to wait 5 years after you retire, get put on the ballot, and hope that you can get that 75% of the vote and get voted in the Hall of Fame. Believe me, there's no better award or icing on the cake than telling people, hey, I'm in the Hall of Fame.
Harther swings and lines one towards the right field line. That goes out of play. Harther with a good battle here. This will be the 9th pitch coming up. Still behind 1-2 against the righty Tyler Pearson from the Laredo Lemurs. Well, you mentioned just over the weekend he had the chance to go out to the most recent induction ceremony. And boy, what a class this year. The 3 players that got in, and on top of that, the 3 managers that got inducted this season.
Definitely. The Hall of Fame was really, really proud of having 6 individuals put in. Well over 60,000 people there in the little town of Cooperstown. And 3 managers, Bobby Cox, LaRussa, and Joe Torre, along with Frank Thomas, and 2 300-game winners, Maddox and Glavin. These guys were teammates. These guys probably put Atlanta on the map. Hank Aaron did too, but when you have 2 300-game winners pitching for your organization, Glavin and Maddox, with that kind of control, knowing how to pitch, I mean, that's what the game's all about.
Henry Wrigley at the plate. Casey Harther bouncing out of the shortstop, Devin Goodwin. And the first pitch from Tyler Pearson, a fastball to knees for a strike, and it's 0-1. The 2 pitchers you mentioned, Tom Glavin and Greg Maddox, getting in both 300-game winners, along with Roger Clemens, who hopefully will get in the Hall of Fame as well. Also a 300-game winner. They might be the last 3 300-game winners we ever see. Your thoughts on that, as you mentioned, with the 5-man rotation and starters not going as deep, not getting as many chances for the wins. Do you think we'll ever see another 300-game winner?
You know, it's kind of tough. I'm not sure who has 200 wins right now. You know, I think that CC Sabathia is pretty close, but he just did something to his hip, and he's on the DL, and his season might be over this year. And with operations, things like that, he could come back next year. But it's really unfortunate when you get a high number, you're working to get it better. And unfortunately, injuries are part of the game. He's into his 14th year as a pitcher. A lot of times you don't come back from an injury, so or you come back but not as good. So let's hope that he's going to probably be a Yankee. Let's hope that he can continue to play.
Little chopper out to short, a nice barehand play by Devin Goodwin, but Henry Wrigley, one of the bigger guys, is able to beat it out over at first base for an infield single. The 2nd hit of the game for the North Division. And that'll bring up Ronnie Bergwin here at the bottom of the 7th. Will represent the tying run with a runner at first and 1 down. South 2, North nothing, bottom of the 7th at the American Association All-Star Game. And we're still honored to be joined here by Fergie Jenkins, Major League Baseball Hall of Famer and Canadian native. Independent baseball, relatively a new thing now in its 21st season. Your thoughts on what that's done to allow guys like all these great players that are in the ball game here tonight to kind of showcase their skills and either get a second chance at affiliated baseball or maybe a first chance at affiliated baseball. And I would imagine there's probably a lot of guys you played with in the minor leagues that had independent baseball existed 30 or 40 years ago might have been able to utilize that to have another chance.
Sure. A lot of times the guys are in their 2nd or 3rd year, and then the signing, every ball club drafts now at least 50 players. Earlier I was watching half a dozen scouts watch guys take batting practice. There are probably maybe a dozen scouts in the stands looking to maybe strengthen a minor league team. Could be AA, could be AAA or A-ball. And it could be an insight for some of these young men to go back. A guy hitting a home run, a guy making a good throw as catcher or turning a double play. So, you know, every team needs someone that's a little special, a little extra. And I always tell guys, when you put that uniform on, put your best foot forward, believe me, because there's always somebody watching.
Fastball taken down low by Ronnie Berkman. It's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Henry Wrigley, the runner on first, with 1 man down. Berkman 0 for 2 in the game. He's fly to right and grounds it out just short. The South All-Stars leading the North by a score of 2-0 here in the bottom half of the 7th. Berkman with the power to tie it with 1 swing, was in the home run derby last night and got to the semifinals. Fastball taken high and outside. 3-2 now on Ronnie Berkman with Evan Bigley waiting on deck. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you as a broadcaster about Harry Carey. You know, obviously pitching for the Cubs for so many years. Did you have interactions with him on a day-to-day basis during those seasons?
From time to time, but more so when I was a coach. Harry, he was kind of a character, believe me, a character. You know, mispronouncing names. Steve Stone helped him out so many times. But, I mean, he was the Bud man. Whenever a commercial came on, it was always Bud, and he was a Bud man. But Harry started originally with the Cardinals, so him and Jack Buck were together. When I pitched against the Cardinals, I'd hear a lot about Harry Carey and Jack Buck. Then he went to White Sox, then Oakland, then Chicago. And he started in Chicago with a 7th-inning stretch. He was the originator. But the guy was some kind of great individual. You don't call broadcasters homers, but he loved his Cubs.
Evan Bigley at the plate now. Ronnie Berkman works out the walk, and it's the first one issued. The second one issued tonight by the American Association South pitching staff. So the tying runs are on with 1 down. Bigley 0 for 2 with a couple of fly ball outs. 1 out to right and 1 out to center. Another guy with the power to change this game here with 1 swing. Berkman on first about average speed. Wrigley about average speed on second. And there's a cutter on the outside corner for a strike, and the count is 0-1. But when you first started playing, the DH didn't exist. By the time you were finished, it did exist in the American League. Your thoughts on the designated hitter, and would you like to see that maybe go away and go back to the way it was prior to the late 1970s?
Well, I came over to the American League. Ron Blomberg was the first DH for the Yankees in '74. And what it does, it enhances your career a little longer. They couldn't find a position for him, but the DH was something that he really survived at. He was a first baseman, but they had a lot of good first basemen over there with the Yankees. When I was in Texas, we had Rico Cardi and Willie Horton, and in Boston, I had Jimmy Rice as a DH. So I had some guys that were young in their career, some a little older, but I mean, it was a position that the manager utilized. You could hit the guy first, you could hit him in the cleanup spot, or hit him in the pitcher spot, 9th. So it is a position that is used quite a bit because of the fact that these guys carry power, or they're capable of getting on base with base hits, things like that.
Evan Bigley takes a call, 3rd strike from Tyler Pearson for the 2nd out of the inning. And that'll bring up Craig Maddox. He'll get his first at bat tonight. Maddox having a great year, hitting over 300. And I know you saw the show. You gave some compliments to him earlier at the luncheon. 10 homers in that final round. He had 5, which won it. And the crowd kind of egged him on to just play it out with the 10 outs. And what a job he did there last night.
He did. I mean, he's got a credit swing. And hitting the ball to right field, hit the ball as high as a light tower sometimes into those trees. But he does have a good swing. And I think if he makes contact, we might maybe see this game tied up with an extra base hit. Or you might see the team go ahead. But he does utilize a good swing. And he's a patient hitter, so we can see what happens here.
Pearson with a 1-0 pitch, and it's a fastball in the outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. The game has changed, obviously, over the last several decades. One thing I wanted to ask you about, you pitched in the golden age of baseball in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and Maddox takes outside, 2 balls and a strike. You hear a lot the phrase, playing the game the right way, and you guys play the game the right way for quite some time. Nowadays, you see guys, I know they use the phrase pipping a home run or maybe watching a home run, things like that. Your thoughts on that? Are you okay with that, or as kind of an old school player, does that kind of bother you when guys tend to do things like that?
Well, in some cases, guys showboat a little bit. And some of the pitchers will deal with it. Some don't like it. But I just think that you hit the ball, run to first base. You hit the ball out of the ballpark, don't watch it and then flip the bat or hand it to the bat boy. And it's just something that it can tee off maybe a manager or the opposing pitcher. But the game has changed in that respect. They don't bunt enough, or they don't hit and run enough. So everybody plays for a 2 or 3 run homer. That was Earl Weaver's thing when he had Baltimore for quite a few years, that these guys had the power to get on base, And then you had guys like Lee May and Frank Robinson, Brooks Robinson, that could hit a 3-run homer. So it changed the game in some respect.
Well, Fergie, thanks so much for the time again. I know it's been a busy couple of days, but I know we're all happy to have you at the All-Star festivities. Great job here with us these last 2 innings, and great job at the luncheon earlier today. All the best to you in the future.
Pleasure talking to you, and I enjoy watching. These young men have a lot of talent, so let's hope they go a long way. I mean, that's what they're still in the game for. They still have that dream. They want to get to a higher level, so it's to their credit if they can do it.
Thanks so much, Fergie.
Pleasure.
Fergie Jenkins, Baseball Hall of Famer and Canadian native, 2-0 in favor of the South Division as we go to the top of the 8th here on Jewel 101.
Things you'll never hear a Cambrian Credit Union member say.
Oh, I just love paying service fees.
My high mortgage rate is amazing.
Yes, I'll pay $1.50 to use this ATM.
With Cambrian Credit Union's great rates and free banking through the UNFI, Cambrian members won't say these things. With a full range of hassle-free financial services, they're here for Manitobans. Cambrian Credit Union, building strong financial foundations for making dreams come true.
Let's say you're looking for the best waste company in the market. One that's been recognized not 5, not 6, not 7, but 8 years in a row as the best in the business. Know who I'm talking about? Think silver trucks and green bins. That's right, Johnson Waste Management. Not bad for a locally owned family-run business fighting it out in the alley. Johnson Waste Management, doing their best to be the very best.
To some, he is a hero. To others, merely heroic. But to us, he's a Pools Hall of Famer. Raised on highlights and minor league stats, he played his game cards like he played Division 12 slow pitch. To win. Home team? Check. Visiting team? Check. Champion? Check. Be a legend with Sports Select. Pools players won over $7 million last year. Pick the winning teams today at your lottery retailer. Remember, keep it a game.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball on Jewel 101.
Top of the 8th inning at Shaw Park in the 2014 American Association All-Star Game presented by Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries. Again, special thanks to Baseball Hall of Famer and Canadian native Fergie Jenkins joining us in the last couple of half innings. And also again a Caitlin Laws Olympic gold medalist curler who joined us earlier this evening. It's 2-0 in favor of the South Division. New pitcher in the ball game right now for the North, righty Patrick Johnson, who has some of the best stuff in the American Association. A member of the Sioux City Explorers will take over now. It'll be Ian Gack, Devin Goodwin, and Carlo Testa due up for the South, 4, 5, and 6. Patrick Johnson, 5-4, 12 starts, 4 games in relief. An ERA of 4.16, 75 and 2/3 innings, 66 hits, 44 walks, 78 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .238 against Patrick Johnson. Johnson has faced the Goldeyes a couple of times this year, and he had a great performance about 3 weeks ago here at Shaw Park. He fired shutout ball for 7 innings and struck out 11 batters, a game that Sioux City would eventually win in the 9th inning. Ian Gack tonight 0 for 3. He's played good defense over at first base. Gack a couple of groundouts to third, and he's also fly to center. The first pitch, fastball, letter high for a strike, and the count is 0-1. The North Division threatened in the bottom half of the 7th. They got the tying runs on with 1 out. Tyler Pearson was able to strike at Evan Bigley and got Craig Maddox on a fly out to left field. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Gack swinging for the fences there and came up short. It's no balls and 2 strikes on Ian Gack. Ian Gack, 4 homers in the final round of last night's home run derby. Hitting one off the top of the light tower and hitting one off the scoreboard in right center field. A native of Seattle, Washington. Craig Maddox sets up outside of the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him on a high fastball. That one clocked at 94 miles an hour on the Shaw Park radar gun. So it's 1 out and nobody on to the top of the 8th. Still without a winner for tonight's trivia question. Again, a tougher question here tonight. Who is the MVP of the 2010 American Association All-Star Game? A 12-4 win by the South over the North at Lawrence Dumont Stadium in Wichita, Kansas. We'll give you a hint. He was a member of the Shreveport-Bossier Captains, the team that eventually won the championship that year. Devin Goodwin takes a fastball high and outside. 1 ball and 0 strikes. Tonight, Goodwin 2 for 3, a double in the 2nd. A solo homer the other way in the 4th that gave the South a 1-0 lead. And then he grounded out to shortstop in the 6th. The 1-0 pitch, fastball, that's on the outside corner, 89 miles an hour from Patrick Johnson. And it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Patrick Johnson in his 4th year of professional baseball, former 25th rounder by the Rockies in 2011 out of the University of North Carolina. Slider on the outside corner. The count is now 1-2. Johnson playing at UNC, one of the top collegiate programs in the NCAA. 4 years, and he went 13-2 as a senior in 2011 with a 2.47 ERA. Johnson winds, now the 1-2 pitch. Hit in the air, foul the other way. A late swing and a fastball, and it's still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Johnson, a career 4.25 earned run average. He's averaged 10.1 strikeouts per 9 innings in his professional career. 1 out and nobody on or in the top half of the 8th. And the opportunity to pitch in the College World Series both in 2009 and 2011 for the Tar Heels. The pitch, it fouled the other way to the right side. Another late swing of the fastball, 91 miles an hour. So the count holds at 1 ball and 2 strikes with Carlo Testa waiting on deck. Both teams have used their reserves. David Espinoza coming in a few innings ago for Brent Cleveland in right field. And Craig Maddox in behind the plate takes over for Goldeyes catcher Luis Allen. Here's the windup for the righty. Another 1-2, breaking ball high and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 runs, 7 hits, and no errors for the South. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for the North. Vince DeFazio was also coming behind the plate for the American Association South, taking over for Chris McMurray, who was the starting catcher. The 2-2 to Goodwin. It fouled behind the plate. Goodwin got a piece of a 90-mile-an-hour fastball high and outside. So Goodwin with a good battle. This will be the 8th pitch coming up. Devin Goodwin spending the last couple of years with the Kansas City T-Bones. Another all-around type player. Has good speed, very good on the infield defensively. He's got a strong arm. And he hits for both average and for power. Slightly open stance. Johnson winds in the 2-2 pitch. Popped him up right side. This one might be playable. Maddox coming over with a mask off. Reaches to his left, and it's off his glove as he came over by the camera booth just to the left of the first base dugout. So it's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitchers so far for the North, we've seen Anthony Claggett, who started. Dustin Crenshaw, Matt Rush right now is on the hook. Carl Jelena, Jake Labor, Kyle Vasquez, and now the hard-throwing right-hander Patrick Johnson. For the South, we've seen Jason Van Skyke, Marquise Fleming, who has a chance to get a win, Sean Bierman, Mike Antonini, Chris Regis, and Tyler Pearson through the bottom half of the 7th. Matt Larkins and Nat Navarro is warming up for the South in the right field bullpen. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him on a high fastball. So Patrick Johnson throws one past Devin Goodwin on the 9th pitch of the at-bat. 2 more strikeouts for Patrick Johnson. Johnson on the season among the league leaders in strikeouts. 78 through Sunday's games, most in the American Association, 1 more than Aaron Wilkerson and the Grand Prairie Airhogs. So it's 2 outs and nobody on. Carlo Testa now stepping to the plate. Testa, a left-handed batter. 2-0 South in the top half of the 8th inning. Testa 1 for 3 in the first pitch. Changeup taken high and outside. 1 ball and 0 strikes. Johnson, not a big guy. He stands in at 5'10", 175 pounds, but he can bring it. And he's not afraid to pitch high in the strike zone. Maddox sets up away. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It fouled off into the seats and hope that everyone's all right. That went about 4 or 5 rows back. So the count is now 1 ball and 1 strike. A line drive about 4 or 5 rows back and hope that everyone is okay there just beyond the third base dugout. So the count 1 ball and 1 strike. An attendance tonight of 6,889, and we get the signal from the fan services crew at Shaw Park that everyone seems to be okay. Carlo Testa, the all-star outfielder for the Wichita Wingnuts, who have the best record in the league right now at 46-22. A 1-1. Fastball taken high and outside, 2-1. Again, when the Goldeyes come back from their upcoming road trip, 4 in Sioux Falls and 4 in Sioux City, they will face Wichita for the only time this year in the regular year. A 4-game series here at Shaw Park. It'll be a good test for both teams. Wingnuts and Goldeyes with the top 2 records in the league right now. Goldeyes are 43-25. Swing and a miss at a changeup down low, and it's 2-2. So Johnson using both his fastball and off speed. You heard from Fergie Jenkins and Dan Mouchon earlier tonight about a dozen scouts on hand at the American Association All-Star Game tonight. Johnson with electric stuff when he is on. And it's 2-2 here on Carlo Testa, the left fielder. Johnson winds, now the pitch. Fouled straight back. Jammed him inside, a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. And Testa fights it off towards the screen. We'll have tomorrow's game in Sioux Falls live on Jewel 101, a 7:05 scheduled first pitch at the Birdcage in South Dakota. The Rona pregame show ride to the ballpark will begin at 6:30. Jake Cahalilio waits on deck if Testa can extend the inning. Right-hand pitcher, left-hand batter. Johnson takes a deep breath. Another 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him on a curveball. And the inning is over. Patrick Johnson strikes out the side in the 8th. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on base. Middle of the 8th at Shaw Park. It's 2-0 South on Jewel 101.
Summer barbecues on the patio. They're all fun and games until someone slips and drops an entire plate of steaks.
No!
Prairie Safety Surfacing can help keep your family and steaks safe all year round with Rubber Rock, the original rubber safety surfacing in North America since 1983. Prairie Safety Surfacing mix and pour Rubber Rock on site to create a seamless, non-skid finish on your patio, driveway, pool deck, and more. Trust the original Rubber Rock. Bounces like rubber, wears like rock. Learn more at prairiesafetysurfacing.com.
While there is no known cure for ALS, there is hope. The ALS Society of Manitoba supports families affected by ALS. Their client services coordinator works with your family to determine your needs, and the Brummett-Feasby ALS House provides 24-hour care designed to specifically meet the needs of people living with ALS, because hope is important in the lives of those affected by ALS. The ALS Society of Manitoba. They help their people every way they can. Visit alsmb.ca.
Nice day. Want a drink?
Yeah, sure. Pass me a Pepsi. Whoa. Do you hear that? Open your Pepsi. Whoa. That was awesome.
Hit it out of the park this summer with the cool, refreshing taste of Pepsi. Pepsi. Live for now.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball on Jewel 101.
Bottom of the 8th at Shaw Park. Right-hander Matt Larkins will take over for the American Association South Division, the South with a 2-0 lead. Marshall Schuler and Matt Navarre is the two pitchers that have not worked yet for the South. Pitching change brought to you by Johnson Waste Management. Call 452-0909. Matt Larkins having a very good year for the Amarillo Sox. Their lone representative, 5-4, 10 starts, 11 games in relief, a 4.46 ERA, 80 2/3 innings, 87 hits, 23 walks, 60 strikeouts, and opponents hitting 273 against Matt Larkins. He will take on 8-9-1 Drew Martinez, Donnie Webb, and Danny Pulford. Larkins in his third year professional baseball. He was with the Sox last year, going 5-2 with a 5.67 ERA. He was brought to Amarillo by Bobby Brown, the former Winnipeg Goldeyes outfielder. Brown, his first year managing the Sox was last season, but prior to that, he was with the Abilene Prairie Dogs in the North American League, and that's where Larkins pitched during his rookie season in 2012. The first pitch to Drew Martinez, a fastball over the inside, half 0-1. Martinez, a left-hand batter. He caught the final out of the championship last year when the Railcats beat the Wingnuts. Change-up outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. And I asked Drew yesterday if he had kept the ball that final out as a keepsake to remember that moment in Game 4 of the championship series last season. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swinging a drive towards right center field. Long one for Van Straten to his left. Lost it in the lights. Reaches over and he makes a diving catch. Boy, Nick Van Straten, a big recovery in right center. He overran that slicing line drive, and at the last second changed directions. He dove onto the grass and somehow made the catch. Second base umpire Darius Ghani had the call. So Van Straten saves an extra base hit, and that'll bring up Donnie Webb. Kevin Hooper, the South manager, is going to come out. So Larkins gets the leadoff man, and it looks like Hooper will call upon someone else here from the bullpen, and it looks like Marshall Schuler, the Lincoln Salt Dogs, will be coming into the ball game. So that'll do it for the right-hander, Matt Larkins. We'll tell you more about Marshall Schuler after this on Jewel 101.
It's the windup, and here's the pitch. Right in the mouth.
I think you lost the tooth there.
Sure looks that way. I bet he's glad he's covered by Manitoba Blue Cross. Big dental bill there.
Just like sports, life can throw you a curveball. And while provincial health care doesn't cover ambulance rides, dental care, or all prescription drugs, Manitoba Blue Cross has coverage options to keep you in the game.
Manitoba Blue Cross, the color of caring.
Visit mb.bluecross.ca to find out more.
There's no feeling like escaping to the lake and catching a few fish. And Pro-Am Tackle has everything to make a fishing trip perfect. Rods, reels, tackle, trolling motors, even live tackle year-round and much more. Plus, the guys at Pro-Am Tackle are local, know their stuff, and the best fishing spots. Oh, hold on. Hello? Jim? That you waving from the canoe down the lake? Let me send you a selfie with the fish I just caught. I loves me some nature.
Pro-Am Tackle, 1094 Nairn, or follow them on Facebook and Instagram.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball on Jewel 101.
Still here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. The American Association South leading the North by a score of 2-0. Marshall Schuler, who leads the American Association with 23 saves, will try and get the final 2 outs. He'll face Donnie Webb and Danny Pulfer here in the bottom half of the 8th inning after Matt Larkins got Drew Martinez to fly to center and a great diving play by Nick Van Straten. This pitching change is brought to you by Johnson Waste Management. Call 452-0909. Marshall Schuler of the Lincoln Salt Dogs, 3-4 league leading 23 saves in 33 appearances, all out of the bullpen. He's 3-4 with a 2.67 ERA, 33 2/3 innings, 21 hits, 13 walks, 36 strikeouts. Opponents hitting 174 against the right-hander Marshall Schuler. He had a great season last year for the El Paso Diablos and was one of several players the Salt Dogs were able to purchase from the Diablos after they had ceased operations following 2013. Donnie Webb, switch hitter left-handed, 1 for 2 with a double. And the first pitch, swinging a ground ball to the right side, fair behind the back, picked up by Ian Gack, and he'll take it to first base himself. 2 men down here in the 8th inning. So Donnie Webb, who had broken up a combined no-hit bid with 1 out in the 6th, is retired here by Marshall Schuler, and it's back to the top for Danny Pulfer. Pulfer 0 for 3 in the leadoff spot, a ground to short and 2 flies to right. Finishing up that story about Drew Martinez, about what he did with the final ball, game for the championship series last season. He actually gave it to Marco Gonzalez, who at the time had closed out game 4 and earned the same to give the Railing Cats their 3rd championship in franchise history. So that was really a nice gesture by Drew Martinez to give the game-winning ball to the guy who threw it. Fastball on the outside corner, and it's 0-1 on Danny Pulfer. Pulfer, a right-hand batter, was voted in as the starting 3rd baseman. He has started tonight at 2nd, and he's hitting leadoff as he has done most of the year for the Gary South Shore Railcats. So Schuler trying to set it up for Wingnuts closer Matt Navarez. The 0-1 pitch on the outside corner against slider, and the count 0-2. 2 runs, 7 hits, and no errors for the South. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for the North. Pitching has been very good on both sides. We just saw Patrick Johnson of Sioux City strike out the side in order in the top of this inning. Schuler ready in the 0-2 pitch. Looper out towards second base, drifting back Cahalileo. Cahalileo makes the catch, and the North is down 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on base. End of 8 innings at the 2014 American Association All-Star Game. It's 2-0 South on Jewel 101.
The Stars are coming to Shaw Park this summer as the Winnipeg Goldeyes host the first ever 2-day American Association All-Star celebrations. July 28th and 29th, catch all the action. Skills competition, home run derby, parties and autograph sessions, all-star luncheon featuring Fergie Jenkins, and of course, the All-Star Game. Play ball! Tickets are on sale now. Get yours before they're gone. Visit Goldeyes.com.
Here's the pitch, and it's a grand slam! Here they come. Cans, juice boxes, glass and plastic bottles into the bin.
The Winnipeg Goldeyes and Recycle Everywhere want you to swing for the fences and recycle all your empty beverage containers. They're full of potential and have thousands of uses beyond the landfill. Step up to the plate and pitch your drink containers into a recycling bin. Whether you're at home, work, school, or the ballpark, remember to recycle everywhere.
Save on your next energy bill with helpful tips from Manitoba Hydro. Even small changes can make a big impact on the environment. Install dimmer switches on the lights you use most often to control exactly how much light and electricity you use. Unplug your cell phone chargers once they finish charging. Chargers continue to draw energy even after your device is fully charged. And whenever possible, use cold water for laundry. For more ways to conserve energy, visit hydro.mb.ca.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball on Jewel 101.
Top of the ninth at Shaw Park in the American Association All-Star Game presented by Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries. We do have a winner for tonight's trivia question brought to you by the Place Louis Riel Suite Hotel in downtown Winnipeg. Congratulations to Kyle Rudzinski of East Kildonan, who knew that Christopher Garcia of the Shreveport Bossier Captains was the MVP of the 2010 All-Star Game in Wichita. Garcia went 3 out of 5 with 4 runs batted in, including a 2-run homer in the opening frame. The South would beat the North that night by a final of 12-3. So congratulations to Kyle. You won a pair of tickets to an upcoming Goldeyes game. Expect a call from the Goldeyes office sometime next week. Goldeyes right-hander Chris Kitzik having a great year out of the bullpen will take over here in the ninth. Dan Sattler of the St. Paul Saints will likely pitch at some point as well. He's already warming up in the left field bullpen. Chris Kitzik on the season, 33 games, 0-3 at 12 saves and a 3.31 ERA. 32 2/3 innings, 32 hits, 9 walks, 29 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .254 against Chris Kitzik, a native of British Columbia, born in Trail, played hockey for the famous Trail Smoke Eaters as a junior, and now lives in Fruitvale, British Columbia. Former draft pick of the Philadelphia Phillies. He's in his second year with the Winnipeg Goldeyes, appeared in 50 games last season, and has had great strikeout numbers throughout his professional career. Right now, the 33 games that Kitzik has appeared in 2014. They rank tied for 3rd in the league. It's 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the South All-Stars. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for the North All-Stars. Jake Cahalilio, Abel Nieves, and Vince DeFazio are scheduled to bat here in the top of the ninth. In the bottom half, the North will have a shot if they can keep it close. Tyler Kuhn, Casey Harder, and Henry Wrigley, 2, 3, and 4. Jake Cahalilio 0 for 3. A right-hand batter takes a fastball on the outside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. Cahalilio is struck out. He ripped one to left that was caught by Donnie Webb in the 4th inning, and then flied out to center in the 6th. Right-hand batter with a wide-open stance. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball on the outside corner, and the count goes to 0-2. The difference right now, a couple of solo homers. Devin Goodwin in the 4th, and David Espinoza in the 6th inning. There'll be a fireworks spectacular to follow tonight's All-Star festivities. The 0-2 pitch, breaking ball outside alone with a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. And then the All-Star after party will take place at the Metropolitan Entertainment Center. 2-0 South here in the top half of the 9th inning. Kitzik comes set. And the 1-2 to Cahalilio. Swinging a chopper to the left, got on top of a split-fingered fastball. It's still 1 ball and 2 strikes. This has definitely been the most pitcher-friendly of these 6 versions of the American Association All-Star Game. You look back at all the scores going back to that first one in 2006, played at El Paso. Right-hand pitcher, right-hand batter. Another 1-2 to Cahalilio. Bounced foul off his back foot. And the count is still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cahalilio, a postseason All-Star the last couple of seasons in the American Association. Won the batting title in 2012, hit well over 300 last year while hitting 17 home runs. In 2006, a final of 5-3 with the American Association beating the Can-Am League. Another 1-2. Line drive the other way, foul, and it's still 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2007 at Sioux Falls, the South beat the North by a final of 6-4. Chris Regis appearing in that game for the Canaries. 2008 in St. Paul, the South won 11-4 over the North Division. Kevin Hooper, David Espinoza, and Chris Regis all a part of those All-Star festivities. A 1-2 pitch, splitter taken down low, and the count 2-2 on Jake Cahalilio. In 2009, the Grand Prairie Airhawks hosted the All-Star Game. That was a 6-2 victory by the North. And then the 12-4 win by the South over the North in 2010. And David Espinoza was there that season as well for the Grand Prairie Airhawks. 2-2 the count on Jake Cahalilio. The pitch by Kitzik. Ground ball towards the middle, going over. Pulford dives, can't get it. Base hit through to center field. Jake Cahalilio with a ground ball single up the middle. And that puts the leadoff man on for the South. They'll try and build some insurance. Matt Navarez, who might have the best stuff of any reliever in the American Association. It appears he will be pitching the bottom half of the ninth. Dan Sattler continues to get ready. Chris Kitzik starting things out here in the top half of the ninth. Abel Nieves will step to the plate. Last year's batting champion. Nieves 1 out of 3, grounded a short. He was robbed on a great play by Pulfer in the 4th, and he bounced a single up the middle in the top half of the 7th. Right-hand batter with a deep crouch, grounds it off the mound. Kuhn reaches, can't get it just beyond his glove in his center field. Cahalalio heading for third base. Here's a throw by Bigley. Cahalalio slides in safe, and Nieves will take second. So a ground ball single up the middle. Jay Cahalalio, one of the best base runners in the league, goes first to third, and Nieves able to take third base on the throw. So the South Division, second and third, nobody out. A chance to add to their 2-0 lead with Vince DeFazio now stepping up. DeFazio took over in the bottom half of the 5th for Chris McMurray, who started. DeFazio had a long at bat in the 7th. He saw 8 pitches before Tyler Kuhn did a nifty turn on a 6-4-3 double play. Runners on second and third base with no one down. DeFazio, a right-hand batter and a member of the Grand Prairie Airhogs in the South Division. Kissick working off the first base side of the rubber. And the first pitch, fastball on the inside half of the knees, and the count is 0-1. DeFazio, former Texas Rangers farmhand, signed with them in 2009 after finishing his career at the University of Alabama, home of the Crimson Tide. They're certainly more well known for what they have done on the gridiron, but they've got a very good baseball program as well. The pitch, low and outside of the fastball, and the count goes to 1-1 strike. He was in Myrtle Beach last year on the Rangers organization, the High A affiliate, at 209 in 98 games. This season, a 233 average with 2 homers and 17 driven in. Very sound offensively. DeFazio has thrown out 27% of base stealers in his pro career. Fastball runs outside, and it's 2-1 strike. Jay Cahalalio is on third base. Abel Nieves is the runner on second. South leading the North by a score of 2-0 here in the top half of the 9th. Kissick comes set just above the letters, and the 2-1 pitch, fastball high, and it's now 3-1. And the Goldeyes will be back in action tomorrow, a long 8-game road trip. First of a 4-game series will begin tomorrow in Sioux Falls, then it's off to Sioux City for 4. And then a tough homestand where the Goldeyes return home with 4 against Wichita and 3 against the Saints, who have made a big charge here in the month of July. 3-1, popped up foul just over our heads. And the count goes to 3-2 strikes on Vince DeFazio. Ryan Corey, the leadoff man, is waiting on deck. Devin Goodwin led off the top of the 4th with a home run to right. And then David Espinoza crushed one down the left field line, just fair, leading off the top half of the 6th. Cahalalio on third, Nieves on second, and nobody out. 3-2 pitch, high fly down the right field line. That'll slice out of play, and it's still 3-2. So for a second straight at bat, DeFazio giving a good battle. Mentioned he saw 8 pitches before the double play in the 7th inning. And now we will see a 7th pitch with a 3-2 count here in the top half of the 9th. Outfield playing him deep and a couple steps the other way. Kissick is ready. And the payoff pitch. Line shot towards right field. Charging in Martinez. Reaches down. Slides off his glove. Cahalalio scores. Nieves held at third. An RBI single to right for Vince DeFazio, and that'll stretch the lead of 3-0 in favor of the South here in the top half of the 9th inning. So Greg Taggart will come out. He's going to call upon Dan Sadler. The South with runners on first and third base. And no one down. Ryan Corey scheduled a bat. And I'll tell you more about Dan Sadler after this in Jewel 101.
Things you'll never hear a Cambrian Credit Union member say.
Oh, I just love paying service fees.
My high mortgage rate is amazing.
Yes, I'll pay $1.50 to use this ATM.
With Cambrian Credit Union's great rates and free banking through the UNFI, Cambrian members won't say these things. With a full range of hassle-free financial services, they're here for Manitobans. Cambrian Credit Union, building strong financial foundations for making dreams come true.
Here's the pitch, and it's a grand slam! Here they come. Cans, juice boxes, glass and plastic bottles into the bin.
The Winnipeg Goldeyes and Recycle Everywhere want you to swing for the fences and recycle all your empty beverage containers. They're full of potential and have thousands of uses beyond the landfill. Step up to the plate and pitch your drink containers into a recycling bin. Whether you're at home, work, school, or the ballpark, remember to recycle everywhere.
And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball on Jewel 101.
3-0 South in the top of the 9th. Hard-throwing right-hander Dan Sattler will take over. Runners are on first and third and nobody out. Ryan Corey of Wichita scheduled at that. Dan Sattler played briefly for the Saints in 2012 before having his contract purchased by the nearby Minnesota Twins, and he would get as high as AAA, and he's off to another great season this year. 29 games, all in relief. He has 16 saves, tied for third in the American Association. A record of 2-2 with a 1.99 ERA, 31 2/3 innings, 20 hits, 22 walks, 46 strikeouts. Opponents are hitting 179 against the right-hander Dan Sattler, an alumnus of Purdue University in West Lafayette, Indiana. And I'll take on Ryan Corey, trying to keep the North within 3 runs. They give themselves a fighting shot in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Ryan Corey 1 for 2 in the game. He's been on base 3 times, a single and 2 walks. Corey has managed to find his way on base time after time over the last 3 seasons. 2012 and 2013, he has finished in the top 10 in the league both years in walks, runs scored, and stolen bases, categories that certainly are important to a guy leading things off. We talked earlier about his durability the last number of years with Wichita. Wingnuts through Sunday have played 268 games over the last 3 years. And Corey has started at shortstop and batted leadoff in all but 1 of them. So he has a shot here with runners on the corners. Bel Nieves on third base, Vince DeFazio on first after the RBI single to right. That went off the glove of a sliding Drew Martinez. Dan Sattler, a power closer, working out of the stretch. And the first pitch to Corey. Slider hit foul back into the right side. The count is 0-1. 3 runs, 10 hits, and no errors for the South. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for the North. Night is set in. Lights are in full effect. A great crowd on hand. A shade below 7,000 tonight in downtown Winnipeg. And we are expected to have one of the best fireworks shows we've ever had at Shaw Park following tonight's All-Star festivities. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Way outside of the fastball, and it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Goldeyes this week is brought to you by Boston Pizza. After the game, you can have any of our more than 100 delicious Boston Pizza menu items delivered to your door. Call 925-4111 or do some finger cooking at bostonpizza.com. 1-1 on Ryan Corey. And the pitch. Swinging a high fly ball to right field. Should be deep enough to drive in Nieves. Martinez makes the catch in front of the track. Nieves tags. He'll come in to score. The throw will be cut off by Casey Harther. It's a sacrifice fly and a run batted into right field for Ryan Corey. And that'll stretch the lead of 4-0 for the South in the top half of the 9th. So Corey, a busy night. A single, 2 walks, and now a sacrifice fly. Vince DeFazio holding at first base. Then I bring on Nick Van Stratton, 1 for 3, an infield single, and he's also been hit by a pitch. So DeFazio on first and 1 away. Van Stratton, a right-hand batter. Last night he won the outfield throwing accuracy contest. He was the final player to go, and he'd actually clinched it in terms of the points awarded after the second of the 3 throws that each outfielder was given. 6 players competed. Here's the first pitch, and he takes a fastball low and inside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. David Espinoza waiting on deck. 4-0 South here in the top half of the 9th inning. There were 3 garbage containers placed behind home plate. The middle one was worth 3 points, and the 2 on each side were worth 1. Fastball high and inside, 2 balls and no strikes, and Van Stratton, who only needed a couple of points to win it, was able to strike the center bucket twice in a row to give him 6. And at the behest of the crowd, he fired the last throw over the backstop. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Fastball high, and it's now 3 balls and no strikes. And mind you, they were throwing from, say, medium to medium deep center field here at Shaw Park. And he was able to throw it over the netting, which is not only about 60 or so feet behind where home plate is, but probably a good 40 or 50 feet high. And it sailed into the crowd, a nice souvenir for fans. Fastball on the inside corner, 94 miles an hour from Dan Sattler. And it's now 3 balls and a strike. Vince DeFazio is on first base with 1 down. South 4, North nothing in the top half of the 9th. Here's the set from Sattler. And the 3-1 pitch. High and inside. One breaks off the mitt of Craig Maddox. So Van Stratton draws the walk, and he's on base for a 3rd time in this game. That'll move Vince DeFazio up to 2nd. So since the American Association has gone to the North-South format, and granted, the structure of these teams much different than the way it was 07, 08, 09, and 2010, when there were only 2 divisions, and it was literally the North All-Stars playing the South. This is a compilation of the Central Division split in 2, and the Can-Am League also sending representatives. But of those previous 4 games, the South won 3 of 4, and they have a 4-0 lead here. The only time the North won was in 2009. Fastball on the outside half, and it's 0-1. David Espinosa's got a big hit tonight. A solo shot down the left field line. The first pitch that he saw from Jake Labor after just coming into the game on defense and right. Espinosa playing in his 3rd All-Star game in this league. A switch hitter from the left side. 2 on and 1 out, top of the 9th inning. Sattler delivers. Fastball high and away, and it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Ian Gack waiting on deck. Espinosa, one of the best 2-strike hitters in the American Association, and just last week he celebrated a great career milestone, collecting his 1,500th career base hit. Maddox sets up away. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball high and outside, 93 miles an hour. So the count goes to 2-1. Matt Navarro is ready to go. It will no longer be a save situation in the bottom half of the 9th. The North will be setting up 2, 3, and 4. Tyler Kuhn, Casey Harther, and Henry Wrigley. The 2-1 to Espinosa. Fastball misses outside. So the count is now 3-1. The solo shots for the South coming in the top of the 4th and the top of the 6th. And the South here in the 9th, 3 straight hits and a sacrifice fly have allowed them to add 2 more. They have out hit the North 10-2 in tonight's All-Star game. The 3-1 pitch, fastball on the inside corner. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Espinosa thought he had ball 4. So now a full count, 3-2. And Espinosa will step back in from the left side of the plate. On second base, Vince DeFazio. Nick Van Stratton is on first with 1 man down. Navarro's just playing catch right now down the right field line to stay loose. Sattler has the sign from Craig Maddox. He'll set up in. The 3-2 pitch. Swinging a high pop-up foul ground. Giving a look Ronnie Berkwin and Craig Maddox, and then he'll land a few rows back into the seats before ricocheting onto the field. So the count is still 3 balls and 2 strikes. On the right fielder, David Espinosa. Mentioned earlier that he is a former minor league teammate of 2 guys that he is playing with right now, Brent Cleveland, who he took over for in right field, and the North or South manager Kevin Hooper, and the manager of the Wichita Wingnuts, Cleveland, Hooper, and Espinosa, all playing together for the AAA Toledo Mud Hens in 2005, 6, and 7. The 3-2 pitch, low and outside, ball 4. So Sattler has walked back-to-back hitters, and that'll load the bases for Ian Gack, who has a chance to break this open for the American Association South. DeFazio is now on third. Van Stratton is on second. Espinosa on first with 1 away. Gack tonight 0 for 4, but he can leave the yard in a hurry. 4-0 in favor of the South here in the top half of the 9th. Sattler looks in, he checks the sign for Maddox, and Maddox will set up away. Here's the first pitch. Swinging a high chopper up the middle, tough play. Pulfer reaches, can't get it, base hit through to center field. DeFazio scores. Van Stratton right behind him. Van Stratton scores standing up. It's a 2-run single to center field off the bat of Ian Gack, and the South now leads it 6-0 in the top half of the 9th. So Ian Gack, a little dribbler over the mound, and it snuck just beyond the reach of Danny Pulfer to drive in 2. David Espinosa goes first to third base. And now runners on the corners with 1 man down. With Devin Goodwin stepping up. Goodwin has a case for the All-Star Game MVP. A couple of extra base hits, a double and a solo homer, and put the South Division in front. That came in the top of the 4th. First pitch, fastball over the outside half. That was 93 miles an hour with some cutting action to it. It's Espinosa on third, Ian Gack over on first base. And Sattler drafted by the Rangers in 2006, a 44th rounder out of Purdue. Check swinging a breaking ball, and they say that he went around. It's now no balls and 2 strikes. He has a career 3.35 ERA, and he has averaged 9.3 strikeouts per 9 innings in his professional career. Now in his 8th season of pro baseball. First and third and 1 out. Here's the 0-2. Fastball runs high and outside, 94 miles an hour. So it's 1-2 on Devin Goodwin, a right-handed batter. Carlo Testa waits on deck. Goodwin is the 8th man up in the inning for the South All-Stars. Sattler delivers, swing and a miss, got him on a high changeup. So Sattler dropped the velocity 82 miles an hour. Now there's 2 outs. The North Division pitchers have racked up some strikeouts tonight. That's now 7 in the ball game combined as a staff. Patrick Johnson struck out the side in order in the top half of the 8th. Here's Carlo Testa, David Espinosa on third, Ian Gacken first, 2 away. Testa, the 9th man up in the inning. He's 1 for 4 tonight. A single, 2 strikeouts, and he hit the ball very hard to left center, but Evan Bigley robbed him back in the 2nd. First pitch, fastball knee high for a strike, and the count is 0-1. Sattler with great stuff, played 4 years at Purdue. And 151 strikeouts and 221 college innings. Here's the pitch, fastball high and outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. David Espinosa on third base, Ian Gacken first with 2 men down. 6-0 South with 4 runs having scored here in the top of the 9th. The 1-1 pitch fouled straight back, and it's 1-2. 5, 9, 14, 16, and $20 tickets for all Goldeyes games are on sale now through Ticketmaster by calling 1-855-GOLDEYE, visiting Ticketmaster.ca, or visiting any Ticketmaster location, including the box office at Shaw Park. The runners lead first and third with 2 outs. The 1-2 pitch, check swing and a breaking ball, and it's just low and outside. Now it's 2-2. Jake Cahalilio, who opened this inning with a single up the middle, is waiting on deck. The South now with 6 runs and 11 hits. The North, no runs on 2 base hits. The right-hander comes set. And the 2-2 pitch, breaking ball a little bit high. So it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ian Gack will get the automatic start on first. 3-2 and 2 men down. Heard from Dan Mouchon earlier today, and a chance that the All-Star game could be in Rockland next season. Rockland home of the Boulders in the Can-American League. Runner goes 3-2, swinging a grounder foul outside of first. And it's still 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Boulders have a great facility, Provident Bank Park, located in the Pomona Mountains, just about an hour and a half north of New York City. The Goldeyes went there last season. The Boulders, who are having a great year, they lead the Can-Am League right now. The top 2 teams will go straight to the Can-Am League Championship Series. Right now, Quebec and New Jersey are battling for that 2nd spot. Again, the runner goes, 3-2 pitch, swinging a line drive to center. That's going to get down for a base hit. Espinosa scores. Gack will hold at second. An RBI single to center for Carlo Testa, and it's now 7-0 South in the top half of the 9th. So Testa on the 7th pitch of the at-bat, line 1 to center, may have even tipped off the mid of Dan Sattler, who reached over his head. So it's runners on first and second with 2 men down, and the South is widening the gap here with 5 runs in the top half of the 9th inning. So Jake Cahalilio, who started this with a single up the middle, will bat for a 2nd time in the inning. Now 1 for 4 in the All-Star game. The pitch, swinging a high fly ball right center field. Back into his left, Evan Bigley. In front of the track, Bigley makes the catch, and the side is retired. The South All-Stars had 5 more runs. There were 5 hits and 2 runners left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning at Shaw Park. It's 7-0 South on Jewel 101.
Here's the pitch, and it's a grand slam! Here they come. Cans, juice boxes, glass and plastic bottles into the bin.
The Winnipeg Goldeyes and Recycle Everywhere want you to swing for the fences and recycle all your empty beverage containers. They're full of potential and have thousands of uses beyond the landfill. Step up to the plate and pitch your drink containers into a recycling bin. Whether you're at home, work, school, or the ballpark, remember to recycle everywhere.
Save on your next energy bill with helpful tips from Manitoba Hydro. Even small changes can make a big impact on the environment. Install dimmer switches on the lights you use most often to control exactly how much light and electricity you use. Unplug your cell phone chargers once they finish charging. Chargers continue to draw energy even after your device is fully charged. And whenever possible, use cold water for laundry. For more ways to conserve energy, visit hydro.mb.ca.
I'm Larry McIntosh. California to Winnipeg.
2,966 kilometers. Portage to Winnipeg, 85 kilometers. Which vegetables do you think are fresher? Peak of the market, the vegetables less traveled, and that's a good thing.
Very best from Manitoba, and it's peak of the market. And now, back to Winnipeg Goldeyes baseball on Jewel 101.
7-0 South. We get to the bottom of the ninth inning at the 2014 American Association All-Star Game presented by Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries. Matt Navarez takes over for the South. The closer of the Wichita Wingnuts, Navarez having a terrific year, 4-0 in 29 games, 18 saves, and an ERA of 0.95. First pitch, a fastball swing and a miss by Tyler Kuhn. It's 0-1. Navarez 28 and a third innings, 20 hits, 8 walks, 35 strikeouts. Opponents hitting an even 200. Pitching change brought to you by Johnson Waste Management. Call 452-0909. Tyler Kuhn grounds it out to second. Cahalalio fields and throws to first. And it's in time to retire Kuhn, one away in the bottom half of the ninth. It was a 2-0 game for quite a while, but the South with a 5-spot in the ninth, sending 10 men to the plate, able to widen the gap. So 7-0 now in favor of the American Association South. Trying to win this All-Star game. The first one since 2010 in the league. Casey Arthur 0 for 2 with a couple of groundouts and a walk. Here's the set from Matt Navarez, a big right-hander, standing in at 6'5". Arthur, a right-hand batter, the league's best hitter at .389, a 30-point lead over John Alonso of the Laredo Lemurs. Here's the first pitch. Slider taken at the knees for a strike, and the count is 0-1. Good pitch by Navarez to get ahead. Navarez in his third overall year with Wichita. First joined them midway through 2011. Would come back in 2012, but his contract purchased by Tampa Bay. Fastball taken high, and it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Would spend most of last year in the Rays organization. He missed the second half of the season, unfortunately, due to injury, but he has come back strong here with the Wingnuts. Interesting note about Matt Navarez, as this pitch is swung and fouled to the right side. It's 1-2. Back in 2009, Navarez was originally drafted by the Texas Rangers, a 10th rounder out of high school in California. But in 2009, August 18th, a little under 5 years ago, he was traded to the Houston Astros in exchange for Ivan Rodriguez. He may very well be a Hall of Fame catcher in a couple of years. Fastball taken high and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Henry Wrigley waiting on deck. And Navarez taking over for Marshall Schuler. We got the final 2 outs in the 8th inning. The South pitching's been outstanding. They have limited the North to just 2 hits. The 2-2, swinging a high fly ball, shallow right. Out goes Ian Gack in a foul ground, going up by the bullpen, reaches, and it's just beyond his glove. Good effort by Ian Gack. And it's still 2-2 on Casey Arthur. Navarez with electric stuff, a low to mid-90s fastball. It's not uncommon to see 94s, 95s, maybe even a 96 in the radar gun when Navarez is on the mound. It's a power slider with more downward action than lateral action. And he'll mix in a changeup every now and then. Navarez in his 9th year of professional baseball, 20-15, with 43 saves and a 3.16 ERA. The 2-2, swing and a miss, got him on a slider. And there's 2 men down here in the 9th inning. That'll bring up Henry Wrigley, the last home for the North. I mentioned the North has been held at 2 hits. One of those by Wrigley was an infield single. The only well-struck ball by the North. Donnie Webb of the Winnipeg Goldeyes doubled over the reach of Nick Van Stratton. 2 outs and nobody on, bottom of the 9th inning. The South in front of the North right now by a score of 7-0. Navarez from the stretch in the first pitch to Wrigley. Swing and a miss at a high fastball, 93 miles an hour. And the count is no balls and 1 strike. Navarez played at San Fernando High School in San Fernando, California before getting drafted by the Rangers in the 10th round. He was recruited by a number of Division I schools for 3 different sports. Fastball low and outside, a 1-1. Mentioned he's got a bigger frame. Matt Navarez checking in at 6'5", 250 pounds, a 27-year-old. Now lives in Arizona in the offseason, but was recruited both for baseball, football, and basketball by several Division I schools. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swinging a tapper to the right side. Moving in front, Ian Gack. It'll kick foul about 80 feet or so from the first base bag. Now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. 7 runs, 12 hits, and no errors for the South. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for the North. Goldeyes back in action tomorrow at 7:05 when they take on the Sioux Falls Canaries at Sioux Falls Stadium. Ronnie Berkwin on deck if Wrigley can extend the game. Navarez works off the third base side of the rubber. Here's the set for the right-hander. And the 1-2 pitch. Fastball on the inside corner. Strike 3 called, and the ball game is over. Matt Navarez strikes out the final 2 to face him. He has a 1-2-3. Bottom of the 9th inning, and the American Association South wins the 2014 American Association All-Star Game by a final score of 7-0. The South combines on a 2-hit shutout, and a great way to finish up the 2-day festivities here in Winnipeg before all the clubs get back to action in regular season play tomorrow. So the South wins it by a final of 7-0. No runs, no hits, and no one left on in the bottom of the 9th. Our final score in the 2014 American Association All-Star Game. It's the South All-Stars 7 and the North All-Stars nothing. Back with a Sports Select post-game show after this on Jewel 101.
Thanks for listening to Winnipeg Goldeyes Baseball. Stay tuned for comments from Goldeyes players and coaches. The Winnipeg Goldeyes Sports Select post-game show is next on Jewel 101.
You know, shopping for new clothes really shouldn't lead to an existential crisis.
Why? Just why?
Find your fit at Sargent Blue Jeans. Choose from your favorite brands like Silver, Levi's, Buffalo, and Dickies. Sargent Blue Jeans carries specialty and hard-to-find sizing with on-site alterations while you wait. You don't have to settle for good enough when you can get the perfect fit. For the best in casual and work clothes, hit a home run with Sargent Blue Jeans, located on the corner of Sargent and Valor.
Summer in Manitoba sizzles all over the place, from our great beaches to our great ballpark. And especially at Goldeyes Grill, where they sizzle up some of the best hot dogs you've ever tasted. Diamond Dogs, the official hot dog of the Goldeyes, custom made by Winkler Meats. Diamond Dogs are naturally smoked, gluten and allergen-free, and made with quality ingredients that deliver full flavor every bite. Try them in the game or pick them up at your local grocer. Diamond Dogs from Winkler Meats. Product quality is their tradition.
Stay informed on all the latest news and entertainment with the Winnipeg Free Press. The Winnipeg Free Press gives you the most in-depth local, national, and international news coverage, unrivaled coverage of the arts, and the best in sports. And as the winner of the Canadian Journalism Foundation's 2013 Excellence in Journalism Award, when someone asks,
"Where'd you hear that?"
and you answer,
"I read it in the Free Press,"
you can always count on having the full story. The Winnipeg Free Press, there for you.
Hey, you're looking red and shiny today.
It's just the burger sweats, babe.
That's not normal.
Nah, it's cool. I read the nutrition fact things like you said. I've got enough sodium for like 3 days.
It's easy to make the healthy choice at Jugo Juice. Jugo Juice smoothies are made with real fruit and veggies, 100% fruit juice with no added sugar, and no sorbet fillers or purees. So whatever you order, it's loaded with the good stuff. Stop by Jugo Juice at Shaw Park or Polo Park.
It's time for the Winnipeg Goldeyes Sports Select post-game show on Jewel 101. Here's Steve Schuster.
Back here at Shaw Park, the American Association All-Star Game has concluded, and the South All-Stars win it by a final score of 7-0. You're listening to the Sports Select post-game show. Bulls players won over $7 million last year. Visit your lottery retailer today. We'll go down to the field with the winning manager of the South squad, and that is the manager of the Wichita Wingnuts, Kevin Hooper. Kevin, congratulations on the win. Your pitching for your team this year has been outstanding, and it rings true here with the All-Star Club. You guys combined in a 2-hit shutout.
Thanks, Shoes. That was a lot of fun tonight. You know, it's tough when you only have 9 pitchers trying to figure out who's going to throw and when they're going to throw, but it ended up working out great for us.
Marquise Fleming, he'll get credit for the win. Looked real good. One of the best changeups in the league, and he got you 4 outs tonight.
Yeah, he was tremendous when he faced us up in Lincoln with that changeup. He can pretty much throw it any time he wants, and he was very effective with it again tonight.
In the back end of the bullpen, you saw 2 guys, Marshall Schuler with real good stuff there for Lincoln. Got the last 2 outs in the 8th, and a guy I know that you're very familiar with there in Matt Navarez. So 1-2-3 with a couple of strikeouts in the 9th inning.
Yeah, Schuler looked tremendous as usual, and Matty was himself as always. And who knows, there's a lot of people here tonight to watch Matt Navarez, and who knows if we'll have him much longer. He deserves a chance. He deserves another chance in affiliated ball to go to Double-A minimum, I think, and hopefully become a big leaguer at some point.
offensively, close game there for quite some time. You get a couple of home runs. Guys you're very familiar with. David Espinosa in his third American Association All-Star game, and then Devin Goodwin, another guy you've always kind of admired there on the other side, both in solo home runs.
Yeah, it took us a little while. It took both teams a little while to get going, I think. You know, just seeing some good pitching, some really good pitching. You're not in the All-Star game unless you can't pitch. So it took both teams a little while to get going. We chipped away, you know, one there in the fourth, then we got one in the sixth, and obviously had the big one there in the top of the ninth.
And a lot of guys come through. You get 10 guys there to the plate. Ian Gack coming through with a couple of runs there with a base hit. And one of your guys, Carlo Testa, with a single to center field. I know he'd gotten robbed earlier in the ball game, but he drives in a run as well.
Lowe's been swinging the bat really well for us, and he's looked locked in here lately. When he can go the other way and stay on top of the ball, and he's a guy that can pull the ball with some power at times too. So he's been real big for us lately. And Gack, who's a big power guy, you know, just getting one that he rolled over up the middle, find a way to put the ball in play.
A couple of guys on the other side for the North team. Pitching-wise, that impressed. I know you've seen Patrick Johnson one time in Sioux City. He struck out the side there, and he's got some great stuff, too.
Yeah, Shoes, we actually have not seen him. He was supposed to start against us and had a little nerve issue going on in his back, so we weren't able to see him. After what I saw tonight, maybe that's a good thing, but he looked tremendous. He had a really good inning, actually, coming off the field, and I'd never met him. I told him great job as he walked off the field.
Kyle Vasquez for Sioux Falls with a scoreless frame came in there just before Patrick Johnson. He's had a real good year in rotation for the Sioux Falls Canaries.
Yeah, he's got a really good breaking ball, you can tell, you know, that he can command at any time. He's probably going to get guys to chase that also. You know, tip your hat to those guys. You know, until the ninth inning, they had pitched really well also, and then they just ran into some trouble there in the ninth. It's tough. It's a tough spot. That's why I think, you know, we need to talk about maybe having an emergency guy that knows coming in he may not pitch unless something crazy happens like that in the ninth, because once Sadler came in there, they were out of pitching, so they really had no options.
Well, again, congrats on the win. How much fun did you have these last couple of days just kind of seeing the best in the league and what we have to offer?
It's a great time. Can't thank Winnipeg, the fans, just everybody's treated us great here as they usually do. You know, Andrew as GM does a great job, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun getting to know some of the guys in our division with Lincoln and Kansas City, just getting to know the guys the best we can, because we see those guys all year and see what kind of players there are. It's nice for me to get to know them on a personal level.
Well, Hoop, great job as always. I appreciate the time both before and after the ball game tonight. All the best to you rest of the season. We'll see you in about a week and a half.
Schuster, I appreciate it. Best of luck to you as always.
All right, that's Kevin Hooper of the Wichita Wingnuts and the manager of the South Division. The South wins the 2014 American Association All-Star Game presented by Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries by a final score of 7-0. We'll be joined momentarily by Devin Goodwin, the All-Star Game MVP. Goodwin with a couple of extra base hits tonight. He hit a solo home run that broke a scoreless tie in the top half of the fourth inning. The South winning this one by a final of 7-0. Goodwin was announced as the MVP of the All-Star Game just a couple of minutes ago. Received the trophy presentation from Goldeyes General Manager Andrew Collier. So congratulations to Devin